First, the first one I didn't get charged for.
Hey, Eddie.
Yo, Brenda.
Hi. Hey, you'll make me a co-host and I'll help get this meeting started?
That be done, lady. That be done.
All right. Get them in here.
We're talking about how hot it is. Man, poor Don Masterson over there must be, he got 2 jackets on.
He's in the shop, looks like.
Yeah.
That's just a background. It was 1 degree this morning, and it's going to reach a maximum of 11 degrees.
Oh, my. It's hot here, too. I got the air on in the garage today, though, but I got out there today. I went from air conditioning to air conditioning.
I stayed out on a deck out there, so I'm working on some light burn stuff. Ronnie's helping me with putting a photograph on a board for my daughter. That's her grandson. I'm putting a picture of the Tasmanian devil and his picture. Because last Saturday night, my 2-year-old great-grandson shut down a bowling alley. They took their eyes off of him, and he rolled that ball down there and went down to get it. That's it. Flashing lights, everything shut down. I want to retrieve the kid. It's my boy. I have a handicap ramp that comes up about 4 feet. And when he comes here, that's his favorite toy. Run up and down the ramp, because he can see through the spindles. So no matter which way you go to catch him, and I won't go chase him, his mom and his grandmom does. He just runs up and down, Looks like he'll never run out of energy, which is beautiful. He's not doing this. He's out there living and breathing like we did when we were kids.
There you go.
Remember when the slide at the playground had the 2 or 3 dips, and when you got to the bottom, that was dirt. Mm-hmm. If you were lucky. If it rained that day, that was mud. But there was no padding. If you fell down, walk it off.
Right.
Same with those things that spin around that we used to jump on it and see how fast we could make it go to make the other kids fall off. What you have a chance of how that would be developed in a park today? No chance.
See how dizzy you could get.
Yeah. Oh man. And stickball in the street. That was with an old tennis ball. You were the kid that owned the tennis ball. You were the king of the pack. We all get spoiled. Sometimes it's to our detriment. Very often it's to our detriment. Tonight we're supposed to... Pardon me?
Good evening.
Hey, Doug. How you making out, man?
Good. Hey, I got those bearings and sleeves today.
Oh, you did? Good. All right. And that was the end of it. We the only thing I have, this is not business promotion. That's the good and the bad about this. The good is we don't have business promotions. The bad, I'd love to tell you. That's okay. Rules are for everybody. Didn't want to include me.
We're on the tailgate, aren't we? We're not into the meeting yet.
There you go, Ronald. I like that. Ronald, loophole Ronald. Boom, he's right there.
There you go.
A friend of mine once said rules are great. For everybody else, you got to keep them in line. Boy, I've seen a lot of good turning art this week. If I could sit here tomorrow, I'll probably start on this month's newsletter and catch up from last month. The falls and a couple other things were made for a slow week, but got the test back today and said the C's not back. It's just something that aggravated it. So, hey, I'm okay. I won't miss the C's. It's okay with me. When it happens on a Friday night, you got to wait until Monday to be tested. It's a long-ass weekend, pardon me. David Rhodes says it's just too cool in Central Valley. Is that
I made that comment because Scott was saying it's 104 there. And I'm saying it's just too cold, right? He needs a jacket.
Yeah. It's just, I mean, I'm seeing it new. I don't typically watch the news on TV. We don't get regular TV. So I have to go find something that might update stuff. But last night, I was popping around just before bedtime and I'll see where Great Britain has got brush fires. And they're losing people like crazy because of the heat wave. And
I understand they don't have air conditioners like we do.
No. Yeah, it was 20 years ago. So I went to Niagara Falls in the summertime in August for a business meeting. And that hotel's air conditioner couldn't, up there in August, that air conditioner couldn't bring it down the way you could stand to be anywhere. I spent every moment I was at the hotel in the pool. And I'm not a swimmer, so I was out there cooling off. Or in there cooling off. It was an indoor pool.
In the UK, most of their homes are designed to retain heat, and most of them don't have air conditioning.
Right.
They don't normally have heat either, because of the fact that this is an unseasonal. In fact, it's breaking records of temperatures that they've ever had.
I was talking about playground equipment a little while ago. I grew up here in South Louisiana. Been here most of my whole life, except when I served. And I grew up in a house without air conditioning. My dad had a heart attack when he was 39, and we bought a room cooler, and it went in the window of his bedroom to help him sleep at night. But no air conditioning, none. And we did all right. And when I came home from the military after about 5 years, I was kind of disappointed that every room had an air conditioner. I've been places where I hadn't had a warm shower in a year and a half. I was a young stud, needed a cold shower. I saw your recent video, Doug. That was nice. The video replacement.
Oh, the replacement finial, yeah.
Replacement finial, yes.
Yep. I was going to show that tonight. I thought it came out pretty good.
It did. I liked it. And I'm getting brave. I'm actually taking my laptop out on the deck. Don't do that a lot. The boss ain't watching, I can get away with it. If she's watching, it's, I hear a little voice in my head. I've been seeing I saw 2 yesterday from Doug Rowe, but I didn't watch them in their entirety. On one, he had just started a bowling ball, and it was running really true, really nice. In fact, I was amazed how sweet it was running when it got started, because it was centered up. It was running nice. And then I saw a little later on where he had taken an end off. He put a tenon on it, and he had taken some of the inside out. He showed some of what the inside was made. This morning I saw somebody comment, and I didn't get to see the video. Somebody commented, it looked good right up until it blew up. And I got to see what that is.
It didn't actually blow up. It went kind of through the side of the plastic, that outer coating.
Yeah.
It made kind of a convex curve on a concave curve on the bottom side. And when he was hollowing it out, he kind of went through it.
Oh, okay. Not that I wanted to see it. I just, if it happened, I'd like to, like you said, I'd like to see what caused it.
Sure.
You don't want to see anybody get hurt or damage anything, but just to see what causes problems, because you learn by it. He was holding that on a tenon. And when I looked at the product and the ball and everything else, my first thought, I don't want to second guess it, it's just my first thought was, I would do that with a mortise rather than a tenon. I worry about materials fracturing, and I think tenon compress, mortises open up, and I just had a I don't know if I can back it up with facts, but I've always felt more comfortable opening up in smaller pieces and such into a mortise than grabbing a tenon. I may be completely off base with that.
Yeah, I watched this video yesterday, and something happened that I never even considered happening. He was turning that, and that plastic started getting hot on him. And the more he turned, the hotter it got, and it just started flexing. And he wound up getting a pretty good gouge in there, and that opened up the side onto it. So he's supposed to dem tonight, so he'll talk about it, I'm sure.
I've done a lot of acrylics and plastics and epoxies and other materials. And in fact, my motto used to be, if I can turn it, I can cut it. And it all really depends on tool presentation. I guess that's how I got to say it. Tool presentation. Because if you even have a sharp tool, if you rub a lot of bevel to control the cut, you're generating a lot of heat. And I think it was Eliava Sarah that got me into taking the back off of my doing Ellsworth grind, but I call it an Ellsworth Avocera grind. I don't have one available right here. Where you do a relief, and you leave just a micro tip with the bevel on it. And when you're doing acrylics and plastics, that's the only bevel you're controlling. You better know how to use your tools, but that's the only bevel you're controlling. You generate less friction, less heat. And heat is what's moving a piece. It's not the cutting, it's not the spinning or anything else. It's changing its temperature. And if you can restrict that, now I had a friend of mine that used to keep a little Tupperware bowl of ice crystals, whatever he got out of his snowball machine, if he did pens and all. And he'd make a couple of cuts, grab a little bit of that ice and rub it on that mandrel, and cool it off. And I said, "What's the deal?" And he said, "One blew up, hit me right here. Never going to do the second one." Why did he put the shield on? I cut him some slack, but that was the way he got around it. I saw a nasty one the other day from Great Britain with a guy that got kissed. Piece of baked ash or something like that. I don't remember what the wood was. but it was a nice looking chunk of wood. He had taken a picture of before he started turning it, but it shattered. He didn't get the click. He played it back to show just when it did come apart, and I was listening for the audio, because a lot of times you'll hear that fracture click, and then the blade will catch. And it's happened to me a couple of times. I'm not too proud to say I haven't been kissed. I've been kissed. And almost all the time, I had the warning sound, and I didn't pay attention to it. Or I saw the change. I just missed it, because you're like me. You're into it, you're turning, things going along, that'll go away. Concentrate, that'll go away, that'll go away. Problem is, it went away. You store those, memory to say, let's just not do it again. It would be really great. This month, I asked members, what was your preferred finish? And Dave Rhodes, our webmaster, entered that information onto our website. And last week we were chatting, and we decided that all of a sudden we'd like to expand it a little bit. And instead of saying my favorite finish is white bond poly, and I like to coat that with carnauba wax. Tell me how you got that white bond poly. Let's my favorite finish, and just as brief as you can, or as detailed as you need to be. Explain. We have turned a piece, and we're getting ready for the finish. Where do we go? What are your? And I'm talking regular, everyday turning. Nothing super special. They're all special. Nothing super special. Just a regular turning. Where do you go in getting the finish that you prefer? And I know it's going to change piece to piece to piece to piece. But if you just pick a piece up off the counter and turned it, a bowl, a vase, whatever it is, you sand it? Do you wet sand it? Do you scrape it? Do you sand it then scrape it? Do you sand it, wet it, and then sand it again? That's not wet sanding. That's just dampen it with a spritz bottle, whatever. What is the technique that you go through to develop your favorite finish? See, we're trying to develop this as a informational type package to where new turners, novice turners, growing turners. I don't believe there are any professional turners, but those folks all want to share ideas. So if you have a way that you get a super nice finish, I don't mean it's like it's dipped in glass. I'm talking about a really nice finish. Some woods demand that you don't put a super gloss on them, that you let the wood speak for itself. Those are the finishes I'm very much in favor of. The ones where you 3408 them, or you seal them and sand them and seal them. Put OB shine juice on it to infill divots, and then you cover it with CA, and then you use McGuire's sanding paste, or is it Novax? Can't read the label anymore. Paste, or the Axis paste, or somebody else. You don't always have to do it to a piece. And I'm looking for the information that you provide, so that a novice or a growing turner can take that and say, okay, let me give this a try. When I love a guy that's doing it on a piece of junky wood, that's brave, smart, and brave. I don't want to put an experimental finish on my beautiful piece of oak that I just turned. I don't want to do it. I want to be sure of how that finish is going to turn out before I ever start spinning it onto my piece. Because you can't unspin it onto the piece. Oh, you can remove it. Yeah, you can't do that. You know, we were talking a little while ago about people dressing up in costumes and stuff when they do turning. Well, we're I believe we're not safe tonight.
Is it Doug Rowe turning tonight?
Well, did you mention Doug Rowe's name?
Is he in a dress?
Isn't he turning, demoing tonight?
I don't know if he can. He had a problem getting his wardrobe finalized out.
Couldn't get his bikini, huh?
They're putting a man down.
I saw him with heart-shaped glasses, chains, wig.
Hey, Eddie, Doug Rowe, can you spotlight me?
Uh-oh.
Oh,
there
no.
he is.
Speak of the devil.
I was just, I was trying to put on my best Barbie outfit based on what Facebook told me today. That everybody has their own Barbie look, and well, anyway, this is what Barbie looked like in my picture.
Absolutely perfect.
You're wearing the heels too?
No, you're Sammy Hagar.
I was going to say an 80s hairband.
Sammy Hagar.
Red, baby. That's my favorite Sammy Hagar song.
Oh, man.
Anyway, Trans Am, Highway Wonderland, or Barbie. You guys can decide. To answer Brenda's question, I didn't think about the heels, but my wife's not home right now. Let me run in her closet and see what I can find.
Do they fit? Do they fit?
Yeah, do they fit?
Of course not. That's why we're going to stretch them out while she's not home. And then we'll say, I don't know what happened. Maybe her feet shrunk.
You wet them a little bit. They'll shrink.
We're the ones way too hot to be wearing a jacket, so that's coming off.
Hey, Doug.
Yeah.
Why don't you just be yourself?
Oh, Eddie created.
That's dangerous.
Yeah.
So is this what happens when you retire?
You mean you've been a phony all this time? You mean you've been a phony all this time? Be yourself.
Be myself. Listen, I would love to be myself. But when we created this group, Eddie established the rules. The no butt rule, the no profanity rule, and you must wear clothing. Otherwise, I would be a nudist out here. But apparently that's frowned upon.
You're too much.
All right, quick,
Yeah,
everybody.
way
All right,
too
I'm
much
going
time
to
on
myself
your
a
hands.
haircut. All done.
I was going to say, remember the splinters.
Yeah, well,
Nudist and splinters, bad combination.
that's why you don't turn barefoot. I used to watch Ronnie turn in slipper in sandals, and I just thought to myself, I just sharp edges of wood down between my toes.
Oh, Eddie, you set me up for co-host this game.
Yes, sir, we will.
How's it going, Eddie?
I think I'm all right. I got the
question is Jay from Prescott, Arizona on yet?
Yes, this is Jay.
Hey, Jay, all right, there he is. So,
Hey,
this
Doug.
is my buddies from my local wood turning club. So, he does a lot of resin turning as well. Isn't afraid to turn things with big cracks. So, that's our thing that we have in common, crack and resin, I guess. But, at any rate, I was telling about the demo tonight and everything when we were having our little Tuesday breakfast that we do with our local club. And so tuning in tonight. So everybody say hi to my buddy Jay.
Hey, Jay.
Hey, Jay.
Hey, Jay. Welcome.
Hey. Thank you.
Jay.
Always
Jay,
good to have
what is
another
your-
Arizona guy.
Yeah, but I'm up north. I'm in Prescott, Arizona, which is 100 plus miles from the oven.
Right. Yeah, that's where I'm at, is the oven.
Did we get anybody else from Prescott area woodturners tuning in tonight, or is it just me and Jay?
I don't see anyone else, Doug, but I know that we passed the word a little, so maybe they'll be joining later.
Who was that was sitting right next to you? Wasn't it? Was Dean was sitting next to you?
Dan Hall was on one side of me, and Barry Walters was on the other side.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think Barry has tuned in before. But this is your first time, Jay, tuning into one of our Wednesday Zoom meetings?
Sorry?
Is this your first time turning to one of our Zoom meetings for woodturners?
I was part of this group when it first started quite a while ago, and due to personal commitments, I just couldn't make it. But now I'm back on track.
Oh, okay. Good deal.
I'm glad y'all bringing some friends along, really.
Don't hold it against him that he knows me, though. He's a little bit more normal than I am.
No, we will grab the rest of the guys from the group kicking and screaming, but beware.
Yeah.
Well, hey, there's room for everybody, really, and it's one of the high points of my week. You know, come in here and share. I'm jealous of you guys. Y'all sit together in person in a room and lie. You know, I mean, it's like being on a tailgate, and that's beautiful. A club I used to belong to, we did lunches, we did barbecues, we got together for belt center drag races. We had a ball. I mean, it was just like we do. There were no limits. There were no rules. We were civil, no profanity, no sex, no religion, and it just kept things clean.
Well, we'll have a potluck next week. Everybody bring your own stuff.
I like it.
I think Doug would like the drag races.
Oh!
I'm Greg.
Who's keeping score?
Man, I tell you what, new members, beware. Just beware. I mentioned Ronnie a little while ago. His grandson that was collecting pens to go to Freedom Pens with the graduating class at Harris Island. His grandson's getting married this evening. Came back home on leave, going to marry his sweetie. And they're doing it in front of the judge tonight. And then when he gets back from his next appointment, they'll set up a wedding thing, you know, a church thing. Ronnie's so pumped up. Really pumped up. Yeah.
Great.
We can do gallery this evening right now at 7 o'clock Central Time and 53 minutes. So we're going to go to Doug Rowe for a demonstration. Doug, I saw the initial, and when we get into the demonstration, tell us. We have a little preview, but we haven't seen it. Tell us what happened. Let's wait to the demonstration because, you know, the good, the bad, the ugly comes out in everything. So we'd like to see what
over different things tonight when we get into the demo. I did some more research online today to kind of figure out what I was messing around with, and I've learned that over the decades, the bowling balls have been made out of different materials. And I Googled the name of the bowling ball that I had been turning, and it's from the 70s, which is bowling balls, primarily the outer shell was plastic. And I was like, well, they look a lot like plastic. And so I melted it. But yeah, I'll definitely go into all of that later on when we start the demo.
Yeah. It's interesting about my father-in-law, who's in his 80s.
until just a year or so ago, bowled one time, twice a week. And when he went bowling, I dropped him off there one time. He got in with a roll-around cart. Came up. I said, "What's that?" He says, "This is my gear." I said, "It looks like artillery." He says, "Well, I got 3 balls. They're for different, But I can't say much. He rolled a perfect game while I was there one day. And he's right now he looks like a twig. He's tall and thin, and he'd love to be bowling again. But if he gets hurt, Brenda says he had 2 more bowls this week. All right, 2 more bowls this week. Oh, sorry. We're talking bowling ball, and I'm reading bowling ball. All right. We can do gallery anytime Dane gets some folks lined up. We'll look to see. All right. Remember, we're going to be asked size and finish. Start talking if you're up.
All right. Doug Miller, you're up, buddy.
Okay. Sure. Some of y'all remember way back. You dropped it. There you go. Some of y'all remember way back when I first came in, I shared this piece with you, a hollow storm, closed to that little hole there. That's our one piece. And then I put a finial on it. It's just 1/16 of an inch wide. Well, that finally got knocked off enough time that it broke. And so I turned my wife a new finial to replace it. It looks very similar to the original, but it's not quite as thin. It's maybe 3/32, maybe just a touch over that. Not quite an 1/8, though. 3 inches tall, and for it was request that's got my axe finish on it. The abrasive paste and the wax on it. And if you want to see more about it, there is a video.
I like it.
Ready.
Yeah.
Very
I like the lines of it. It's got a good line to it. Yeah.
Very nice.
Thank you. I've kind of gotten in a rut. I've said it to a couple of folks. I've gotten into a little bit of a rut with my finials. They all come out looking about like that. So I need to go research finial silhouettes again.
Beautiful work. Appreciate it, Doug.
Thank you. That's it. Oh, I do have something else.
He's got a Band-Aid. Oh,
no. I did not do that turning. I was taking nails out of a bunch of free lumber that I got that I'm going to use for a chicken coop, to expand our chicken coop. And I was taking the last 2 boards were nailed and screwed together. I was pulling them apart. And just as it came loose, something swung around and hit my thumb right across the knuckle. And, split it wide open.
Ouch.
Yeah,
What about your Bradford Terrible you just posted earlier?
Oh, I'll have to go get that one. I'll come back later.
All right, let's go to Brenda.
Me already?
You
Look at
already?
this. Look at this. I made 2 more bowls.
Look at that. Look at
2 more.
I saw those on Facebook. Those are nice.
This one you've not seen. I just did this one today.
Yeah, I saw the first one on Facebook. Yep.
Look, I put some lines in it.
I like that.
You see a face on the inside.
Face?
Yeah, frowning face right there. He's frowning.
Oh, I see him. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. There's the other one. Check this out. Watch this. See if I can line them up again. Line up.
Very nice.
How's that?
You got a top for it.
That's what I thought. Man, I could have made a lid out of that. And I thought, well, that'd be a challenge, wouldn't it? I got a challenge for you. Turn a bowl into a lid.
Let's go. You have to do that.
Well, we turned Doug Rowe into a wood turner.
That's what I did this week. Before.
Right on. Brenda, you could do that. You could do that.
I can turn a lid.
Absolutely.
The lid.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I thought about that. All I'd have to do is take a recess in this part and add a finial or something on top of this one. Yeah, I can do that.
Actually, if you just do the quote lid unquote part right, it'll just fit inside your bowl. You don't have to add recesses and tenons and so on. You
it slides off though.
Yeah, you have to make it a little smaller, the rim a little smaller, so it makes in
inside diameter.
So you return
inside
that.
diameter of the lid.
Yep. So it leaves you like an eighth of an inch lip or something on the bowl itself. It fits inside the bowl, the original bowl. Then you have to put a knob on it so you can pick it off.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Maybe a finial or something on top of that, which just kind of set it in the recess, right?
There you go.
Yeah.
Dane, her name is.
But I need a bowl, so.
No, the bowls are pretty. Leave them as they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Make sure you get her name down right, because next week Brenda's going to come back with a lid.
Sure, she will try working on it.
Yes.
I think she was going to get that next week.
On both bowls. There'll be a lid on both bowls.
Well, probably not.
Hey, Ron, that looks good.
It is a piece of walnut log that I had out in the shed that I finally brought in and decided to turn it.
It's a pretty piece.
That came out all right.
Gorgeous. I love walnut.
Did I see some feather figure in the bottom of the inside there?
What was that?
On the inside, did I see a little bit of feather figure in there? Yep, right there, 6 o'clock. Uh-huh.
Yeah, it comes all the way through.
Very nice.
Yeah, pretty piece.
Yes, it is. Love it. Gorgeous.
Very
good. It is just finished with wax.
With paper wax.
Very nice. Just wax. Very nice.
That's all I have.
Thank you, Ron. Good seeing you.
So we got to go back to Brenda because we didn't hear what she used for a finish. Or what type of it was.
I'll give you one guess.
Parfex. I know.
3408.
Yeah.
So everybody else does.
Yep. Yep. Everybody, I showed everybody the first two I made, and the one was Parfex, and the other was cutting board oil. And everybody's like, I like the shiny one, so I put the Parfex on the next two.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice. And is that that's spalted oak?
This is spalted maple.
Spalted maple.
Red leaf oak or red leaf maple.
Red leaf.
Yep.
Ambrosia
red leaf
maple.
What's that?
Ambrosia.
Yeah, ambrosia.
Yeah, ambrosia maple.
Yep.
Is it ambrosia? Does it have bug holes?
Not in this part.
Just looks spalted, guys. I don't see the
I
ambrosia
think it's
bit.
just spalted.
The smaller one looks ambrosia.
Yeah, okay, I can see
green
that.
piece,
Yeah.
green here. Yeah.
If it's ambrosia, it'll have bug holes in it.
Well, it did under the bark. It did, but
Yeah,
I see too many
so it
bugs
could
in
be
the rest of it.
ambrosia. Because the ambrosia
only goes so far.
causes the spalting. And it
Yeah.
will seep in very deep into the log because the bugs only burrow on the surface under the bark. So if you turned all that away, it's definitely ambrosia maple. It looks like ambrosia maple.
Okay,
Looks like
we'll call it ambrosia maple then.
there you go. You just increased the price on it.
Heck yeah! There you
You go,
go.
girl.
Cha-ching, double price.
Right?
What-
That's worth at least a $30 increase.
Okay, good. Because I was thinking 30 or 20.
Oh no, that's 60 bucks all day.
60
Those
bucks.
are at least $45 a piece. I'm not kidding.
Okay, send me the money, Matt.
The small one is 60.
You know,
the larger
I have
one
bowls.
is 75, 80.
I have buckets of bowls, so.
What diameter are there?
Well, let me see.
Cash.
I got him a ruler right here.
There you go, a yardstick.
Look at that. I can't see it. What is it? 7? Right at 7 inches.
7-inch diameter. That's a $70 bowl.
Yep.
That one's 7.5.
Yeah. $75 bowl.
And let's see, that is just under 3.5 tall. It was right at 2 inches.
It also depends on your demographic and what the market will allow, but I would say $50 to $70 bowl.
Wow.
That's the starting price right there. Heard it first from the Can-Am Connection.
Okay, well, just increased my price. Like I said, I was thinking $20.
Well, your level of training has increased in there, Brenda. Don't sell yourself short on it.
Yeah, maybe.
No, ain't no maybe.
Remember, you can always bargain down. You can't bargain up.
Right?
That's true.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Good job,
Thanks.
Brenda.
Thanks, guys.
All right, let's back to Doug.
Okay. Went and found that bowl that Dane was. Okay. Yeah, changed my mind. I don't know why that one sometimes works great, sometimes it doesn't. But today it didn't. Hair crotch, very green. Was able to save all my bark. The inside is finished just with abrasive paste and wax, really by hand, because I really couldn't spin it. That edge is a little too uneven for me to stick my hand down into. On the outside, there you go. You can see it a little better. See some of the crotch figure there coming through. Get around the other side. There you can see some more over there. But also got a little more gloss on the outside. I used my Bill buffing system on it and got it up to a pretty nice shine. There you go. Now you can see it.
Yep. Like a nice.
That was a lot of fun.
Very nice.
Wow.
Doug.
It's like a nice thick finish.
It's not. It's wax, but it was put on with the Bill buffing system. I went through all 3 grits, the Triple E, the White Diamond, and then the Carnauba wax. That's all put on with a buffing wheel. So, my typical finish or bottom there. There you go.
Very nice.
Anyway,
I like that Bill buffing system a lot.
Without putting a heavy film finish on it, it does a really nice job. Oh, I did have oil on here. I put 3 or 4 coats of walnut oil on there.
It looks good. It really does.
Yeah, that's really pretty, Doug.
Very
Thank
nice.
you, guys. Thank you. It was a lot of fun.
All right. We're doing a little gallery tonight, folks. We have a nice demonstration lined up for you at the top of the hour. Doug Rowe out of Arizona is going to do a bowling ball for us. He's going to, I believe the program is going to be a yarn bowl out of a bowling ball. And he's practiced a little bit. He can tell some do's, don'ts, and whatevers about his turning. We've also opened for gallery if you'd like to be part of it. If you have an item you'd like to show, go to chat right in there. I have something to show. And Dane Chandler, who's our gallery master, will call on you. When Dane introduces you, please start speaking. Then he can pick you out of this hornet's nest of folks who we have on tonight. And all of us, not all of us are working on desktops or laptops. A lot of us are working on cell phones. So work with us and we'll work with you. I'd asked, or I mentioned last week that Spot was still lined up. Yes. I'm getting good reviews on what's going on, what's happening there. And SWAT happens 35 days from today. That's 5 weeks, folks.
5 weeks from today. And they're still accepting entries and admissions. So it's never too late. And you can just go in and see the gallery and shop the sales floor without even paying for attendance. It's a great program. It's a family reunion with family you like. That's just how it is. We're back on the tailgate again with gallery. If you got something to show, let us know. Dane is working on that list, and he'll introduce you.
I'm not taking names, but don't have names coming in yet, Eddie.
Oh, okay.
Hey,
we got Don Norton just
popped in. Something I'll show tonight.
Yeah, and Dave Kinsley's got something.
Hello, this is Don.
Oh, Don, you ready?
Hey, Don.
Okay,
That's Doug. Don
I'm
Norton
thinking,
got something.
Hold on. Let's get Doug here, and then we'll go to Don.
So,
Doug.
Jay and I in our local wood turning club, we've got an art show coming up that quite a few of us are participating in to sell some stuff. And I needed to make lower end items just to get my funds rolling in so I could pay for my spot. So I just grabbed a little chunk of maple and turned a tiny little base. There's nothing glorious about this. I don't expect to sell it for a lot. But it made me think of Brenda because... Hello, I'm a little birdie.
It looks like an owl.
There you go.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Or a hawk.
Before I even turned it, and this was, just the end piece of the branch where it was cut off, it was even more of a bird face going all the way around, but of course I shrunk it up to make the tendon, and I wasn't sure how much was still going to be there, and then when I parted it off, the little, the little nub is there that you're supposed to take off, whatever, I was like, well, let me see how it sits, and it sits just fine with it on there, so...
I'd leave it on there. Yeah, that's
yes. Yes.
That's cool.
The hidden.
Yeah.
$5, $10, whatever. It's nothing special.
Right.
That's cool.
That's a good pen. That's a good pencil pot.
That said Brenda all over it.
Right.
That's cool.
You got a smiley face. Getting ready to eat a rabbit.
Okay, Don's here. If you're ready to spotlight me.
Yeah, I'll bring you up here, Don.
Okay. There we go. This is a cherry hollow vessel, and there we go. That's the shape that influenced its shape.
That's pretty.
That is cool. An hourglass almost.
And I didn't want to go that extreme. And then I've got another one. This is another piece of cherry, but I'm fighting cracks.
Yep.
At what point do you is the best? I've tried filling them before, and at this point I just said I'll let it go for the moment. Maybe somebody will have an idea, because I still need to bore it out.
What have you filled the cracks with?
I've tried, let's see, on a much bigger bowl I tried some resin, but these are so, I can't get resin or epoxy to sink into that. I've tried super glue, but it's and wood, but it's just it's not going deep enough.
Wood.
What's that?
And then it looks like super glue and wood.
Give this a try.
You would have to put it under pressure for it to force it deep into the crack totally in a pressure pot.
Yeah, one of the things that I use is thin super glue because it wicks into those cracks, and I try to get them when they're small, when they're micro cracks. If I can get it, if I'm drying a piece and I can see the crack start to develop and it's small, then I can take the Starbond EM02 and it'll wick right into those cracks and close them or keep them from getting any bigger.
I tried that. I was using the 3408 to fill it, but
so what I would recommend.
I think you need to finish.
Is it still wet? Wood?
Yes, it is.
I think you need to go ahead and...
But the crack started before I'd even turned it, so it was just, I was hoping to turn it deep enough to get that, but it's like, I kind of like its shape.
Need to cut the mass away. Go ahead and finish the inside.
Okay. Well, that'll be tomorrow. It's
take a cutting bit on a Dremel tool.
Quite a bit.
Open up the cracks 1/8 of an inch, and then fill it.
Okay.
I use dried used coffee grounds and super glue on darkwood. It goes good.
About
Matt Harder
hollowing out the middle. Hollow it out. Finish the inside. Use super glue with a vacuum cleaner. Try to suck it into the center.
Okay.
Well,
It's
what I've
just,
done something.
as time goes on, I've even got, let's see, can we get them? Yeah, I've got even little cracks developing here. So, you know, this piece has just become a real battle. Like I said, before I even started turning it, it was cracking.
What I've done with some small cracks is you take and rub in some just wood glue and hit with some sandpaper. The sandpaper grit will go into the crack.
Okay.
Don?
That's what's for small ones.
Hey, Don?
Yes.
If you look at your CA glue, some of them come in 3 different grades. Thin, medium, and thick.
What?
The glue. Right.
What did you say?
It comes in 3 different grades.
Right.
It comes in thin, medium, and thick. So maybe if you take one of the medium or the thick to force it into the crack, maybe that would help.
Okay.
Hey, Don. Also, we had a demonstration here in our club, and the whole thing was it was called wood turns. And no matter what, I mean, it's nature. No matter the glues, it's still going to turn. What he showed us, one of his little tricks was, it was a drill bit, and it had to have been maybe a 32nd or smaller. And you treat the wood just like a piece of glass, and you drill right at the bottom of that crack, and it'll probably stop right there. And I've done it for a while now, the past, I guess, 8 months, and it seems to work. And you're going to have the crack, so I mean that's natural as could be. You just don't want it to get any worse.
Right.
And yes, it seems like it works. Stop, just stop it, where it's continuing,
Okay.
It's just a
sound method. That is a sound method.
Yes. Thank you. Good looking, Don.
Thank you.
When you finish it up, we want to see it, bud.
You bet. I've also got another bowl that's cherry, and it's essentially 10 inches across and kind of a trumpet shape. And essentially, I'm fighting cracks on that one too. So that's actually sitting in chips right now. I'm hoping to slow them down until I know what I need to do to get it to dealt with.
Okay. We want to see when you do it.
And then I leave so in both cases, I've left the tenon on the bottom so that I can put it back in the chuck and try to make it beautiful again.
All right.
Then, so real quick, so I think Heinz got a question for you, but before I turn it over to Heinz, so on your tenon, make sure that you're locating one of your jaws so you can mount that back into your chuck in the same jaw that it came out.
Yes, I've got that. I've got two. I've got 2 marks for the number 1 jaw. So.
Okay, right on. I just want to make sure. So Heinz, go ahead.
I have, it's...
Go ahead. You got your hand raised for comment or question?
This is,
Oh, wow.
Sycamore, about 12 inches by 2 inches thick.
Nice.
Pull it back a little bit.
Super.
That's too really close pretty. To the camera.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Looks good.
Nice.
Oh, that's fine.
Oh yeah.
So is that burn it? So is that colored in, or did
yes,
you do
it did. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very.
Right on.
What are your colors, Han?
Another piece. That.
Pull it back to you. Oh, that's lovely.
Nice.
And
what is that made out of?
It's a little wood with the thread. That's.
Oh, cool.
Oh, there you go.
That's awesome.
Box.
Wow. Did you make the thread yourself? Don't think he can hear us, guys.
He's muted.
Oh, now he's muted.
Yeah, thank you so much for that.
I love that finial on that other.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, very nice.
Okay.
Welcome to the club.
Thank you. All right.
All right. Let's go to Dave.
Dave in Lakewood.
Dave in Lakewood. Come on. Start talking so I can bring you up here.
Okay, I'm here. I'm chatting.
There he is.
There I am. Well, what I have today, it relates to some projects I've shown you in the past. If I share screen for a second. Little Wyatt arrived at 1 o'clock this morning, and those baby rattles that I made are going to be put to good use.
Oh yeah.
All right.
My first grandson.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
I just had to show him off.
Congrats.
Oh, nothing wrong with that.
I'll let you have it back now. Let's see, how do I get out
I'm
of
going
it?
to have to get him a gouge.
I'm going to teach him to turn as soon as I can.
Good.
All right.
Dave. Bring him up right. Bring him up in the shop. Okay. Dave, you got to break off that screen share.
How do I do that? Oh, yeah, here it is. I see it. Okay, there it is.
All right. Thanks, Dave.
Thank you, guys. Take care.
He's a cutie.
Go to Billy. Hey, Billy.
Wow.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
We got you, bud.
Okay.
Look, hey, Billy, have you noticed that Doug, Rowe, and I are both trying to mimic your appearance?
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, okay.
I've been having a pretty interesting week in the shop so far. I'm teaching 3 of my teenage grandsons how to turn. We just cut, drilled, and glued up 10 blanks this afternoon, so tomorrow could prove interesting. But I finished the demonstration platters that I started, or that I did live last week. This is the red one.
Ooh,
pretty.
I decided to.
That's beautiful.
I didn't like the red in the center that I was painting this, so I painted it. It's a really fine metallic black, and you can't really see the metal flake unless you get up here close. But lacquer finish as always, and I cut my mortise out so it doesn't look like I held it.
That is gorgeous.
Thank you. And here's the blue one.
Oh.
I think this one just came out awesome.
Very
Yes.
nice.
I want to do one of those when I find a piece that's big enough.
In spite of the fact that the white bled into the blue, but I kind of like it. And the red is darker and relatively subdued, but you can still see it.
yeah, it is.
And I did this ring a metallic gunmetal. Again,
Well, that's beautiful work.
Thank you very much. That's pretty much it.
Right on. Thanks, Billy.
And that, folks, is an expansion of what he showed us how to do recently. And
take it it worked out really nice and showed if you watch this demonstration, you see these presented here, it shows the versatility you can have with that finish. He did it during a demo. It was fascinating. It really was. I'm looking forward to seeing more of that in the gallery. I am. So, all right. Thank you, Billy.
Right on.
Good to see you.
All right. Let's go to Jim. Hey, Jim.
Jim Duxbury.
Okay, gotcha. I got to do a screen share.
Go ahead, sir.
This is a split bowl. Where to go?
Okay. It's a really dark bowl. Billy Burke can tell you how to put some accents on that.
Is that ebony? Can you see that? No, wait a minute.
No. You need
Let me
to
start
select,
bring it up here. Wait, that
select the window with the picture in it.
That didn't come up right somehow.
When you do screen share, you have to click on the photograph that you want us to see.
Yeah.
You gotta have the photo up first.
I do.
Okay.
Does it show on your screen share screen? There it is.
There it is. You see it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. This is my first. This is a prototype. I did this years ago. This is a poplar bowl that's turned, cut in half, and the two halves put together. Okay.
Yeah.
It's glued to a piece of mahogany first. So the whole thing was turned. It's a sheet of mahogany that was actually screwed, like there were screws through here, into a faceplate, and then you turn this whole. First, the thing was turned with a screw chuck. The screw went into this dimple in the center here. Then it was turned around and screwed to a faceplate, and finished turned on the other side, and then this side. When you turn it around, you have to remember what you did on the inside, okay?
That is cool.
That's the first one. From there, this is madrone. This is
I see a teddy bear.
8 inches in diameter. This is a non-uniform wall thickness.
Looks like a teddy bear.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Side view of it. Here again, it's turned on a pin chuck. The pin goes in here when you start turning the inside. You can do all
Hold
kinds.
it, you can turn it.
But you got to remember what. Then I got another one in here, I think. If it comes up, that's another view of it. But you can see the crack. That's actually the top.
I think we need a demonstration.
Never mind.
Possibilities are limitless with that.
I've done a whole bunch of these things. Yeah, that's the bottom of it.
How do you possibly do that?
That's cool.
Very carefully.
Yeah, this is walnut. This is a uniform wall thickness. I use that, what do they call that, molding gauge, a template gauge or something that, all the little wires in a frame. And I draw my work first. All my work's drawn first. This is the side view of it. Same kind of thing that the pin chuck goes in. I started to love this pin chuck. I really use it for a lot of things. I don't know what else is on here. Another view, that's walnut. My wife burns the top. She's pretty good with that thing. In fact, she's getting to be a really good wood turner too. Keeps my toes. Bottom of it, I don't know what else is on here. Oh no, that's actually what it looks like on the lathe, on the pin chuck. That's the inside of it.
Then you split that.
Split it right in half.
Right there.
I can show some more. I'd have to bring them up. I can show a set of them if you want to see them. That's right.
Sure. Yeah. Good, Jim.
You do? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let me get out of this. think I know how to do this, huh?
Kind of like an inside-out turning, only different.
Yeah.
When you cut the bowl in half, do you cut it with the grain or across the grain?
With the grain. You don't want to glue end grain ever. Let me do another screen share now. I lost everything here someplace. This should be a pair of cherry bowls. That come up?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
2 cherry bowls.
After I made one of these, I thought, it'd be neat to make a pair, and then you could do, when you put the tops together, you get opposites. Make a pair, you could do likewise. You could do, anyway, let's start over. This is 2 identical bowls. You can see where they're cut in half right here.
Yep.
Here's the bottoms of them. Here's one up, one down. There's 2 of them side by side cut in half.
That is awesome.
These are uniform walls. Now, the difference in this kind of a thing is this angle here and that size is identical to this. So these can be put together the other way around. Like that.
Oh.
There's one in, one out. Okay?
Oh, wow. That is cool.
2 inside, that's 2 bottoms together.
Just when you thought you'd seen it all.
Here's what I was after originally, 2 likes.
That's cool.
There's 4 likes.
Boy, Jim, you got a whole lot of brain cells cooking here.
Oh, anyway. I probably can think faster than I can turn. Anyway. There's all different ways you can put them together.
That is too cool.
It's limitless on the codes.
You can actually stand them up.
Yes.
I was going to put maggots in, but you can put magnets in them. No matter which way you put maggots in, someday, somehow, they're going to oppose each other, so they won't go together in certain directions, so you can't do it. But anyway.
You could put a magnet in one side and put a piece of steel or a piece of iron in the other side, and then you wouldn't have that problem.
Then on some things, you got iron to iron, and you got...
You just put them back together, correct?
Maybe somehow, I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, I got enough time in on
That's
these.
Cool. That's brilliant, Jim.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing.
Those are awesome, Jim.
Absolutely.
And that's how I started. Okay.
Where we started.
Yeah.
All right,
Anyway.
thank you.
Wow.
You got it.
Very nice. Thanks, Jim.
We look forward to seeing what you contribute next week.
Oh, I got more.
Oh, I know you do. I know. Maybe later tonight we get a lull in the gallery.
Oh, we'll see.
Back to you. All right, thank you. Let's go to Tim. What you got going on, Tim?
Well, good evening. I was watching Billy do his little YouTube thing on staining, so I went out and got some RIT dye, and I stained this thing a couple different colors with RIT dye. I went with purple and black and navy blue. I didn't like the way it came out. The RIT dye I was using was with water instead of alcohol, and I just didn't really like it. So I sanded it all back, went purple, and then I did a metallic blot paint, basically. This is just a test to see if I like the process or not. I tried spinning it like what Billy had, what he showed, and I couldn't get my dots symmetrical enough. So again, sanded it back. This is just a test piece, just so I can play around on the lathe.
That's a good looking test, though, Tim.
Then again,
That's a good looking test. Looks great.
yeah, thank you.
I like that.
Appreciate it. But you know, the news of the day is, yep, I got it. I got the Rona.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I got that last night, and so I won't be in the shop for a little while, but we'll get back into it. So that's all I got.
Your lathe is immune to it.
Hey,
yeah,
Tim.
my breathing isn't though. So.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Tim. Look for red powder. The same dye, red powder, and then dissolve it in denatured alcohol. Don't use any water.
Okay.
And I think you'll be happy with that.
Yeah, I tried the pre-mix stuff in the purple, and that worked really good. But the RIT powder, I mix it with water per the instructions, and I'm not happy with that. That's
I don't ever mix my powder with water. I use only denatured alcohol.
Okay. Well, that's a good tip. I appreciate it, man.
Not a problem.
Your bowl looks beautiful. Everything looks great. So I appreciate all the tips that I got from y'all.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Keep playing.
About 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, I did a demo on RIT dye. Look it up.
All right. Sounds good. Hey, thanks again.
All righty. Back to you, Eddie.
And RIT dye is available on Amazon. They have 3 packs for $10, or 3 packages, $10.
You can buy it in Kroger's for half that cost.
Yeah. Or Walmart.
The RIT dye that they sell on Amazon is 2 to 3 times the cost of what it is at Walmart or Kroger's.
Right. Yeah, I get my powdered RIT at Walmart usually.
I have to keep that in mind when somebody goes to Walmart. I don't.
Kroger's.
We don't have those.
Or Fry's or the Kroger, whatever they call it down there.
HEB.
I'll have to go through a regular grocery store and look around a little bit more.
Yeah, they'll have it. It'll be over in the laundry section.
Yeah.
Where they have the laundry soap.
Yeah, where starch is kept at.
Yeah.
Iron and board, iron. Section most men don't go to.
Don't talk about Doug that way. Come on, man.
I was just about to say, some of us kind of do.
Since we're talking about dyes,
you don't want to talk about dyes. Let's pop it up.
We're talking about dyes. You don't have to use RIT brand. This is Dylan, and it works just as well. I dissolve it in alcohol as well, and it comes in a wide variety of colors, and it works as well as the RIT. And I think it's that was $1 a pack at Walmart.
So the key is fabric dye diluted in denatured alcohol.
Yes.
Yes.
You can also get full packages of aniline dyes off Amazon, which come with all the colors you can ever think of. And you can mix them with alcohol soluble or water soluble, whatever you like. But alcohol is better because the grain won't raise like the water will. Water will make your piece fuzzy.
But aniline dyes are great, but they're awfully expensive. For cheapskates like me.
A little goes a long way, though.
Yeah, it does.
I'm afraid y'all going to get mad. Y'all going to get dug into doing tie-dye clothing, and then I'm really, we've done a lot here in 3 years. I don't think we're ready for that yet. In a few minutes, Doug Rowe, who we're teasing about, will be doing a demonstration for us tonight. And if you have a mind or an idea about a demonstration that here it's two-sided here. A demonstration you like to either perform for us, which is welcome, or a demonstration
that you'd like us to perform for you. That's also welcome. See, we don't know what you want until you ask. We don't know what you got until you tell us. And that's all welcome. You can put it in the chat, or you can go to our website and put it on there, and we'll get it. We'll work on it. We have a couple of members who we refer to them as co-hosts because that's the term that Zoom puts on it. But we have different members that handle different aspects of the club, and all these folks work free. They all work for you. They all help the same way you do, sharing information about wood turning. Now, sharing information is critical. A week doesn't go by when I won't get a call from a member like you who says, and I'm trying to get hold of this guy, and I'd like you to copy your membership list. We don't have one. We really don't. But we do have what our webmasters developed called a contact list. And the way it's pretty simple. If you heard us talk about it before, bear with me. You tell us what you want us to share. You go to the chat right there and you put in, "Hi, I'm Bob from Borax, Alexandria, Alabama." You get it right. And I'd like to put in my phone number, my name, my address, my zip code, my website, and all that stuff. Whatever you would want to share is what we will share. And how do we share it? On our website under contact, there's a little place there where you say, you'd like you to copy the contact list. Then you fill out the blank exactly as it says. Exactly as it says. And the subject on it is capital CAPTAIN. And you will almost immediately get a response with a PDF copy of the membership list. But it's not a membership list, because everybody can be in the group. And there's no requirements, no money, no commitments, nothing else. It's an open group. We're all in the tailgate talking wood turning, and I love it. And you've seen tonight. We have seen finishes, we've seen turning, we've seen details. We saw Doug with a wig on. We know Tim Hatch has got the COVID. And almost anything is fair right here. Be nice. Okay. If we have an immediate gallery, we can go to an immediate gallery. Otherwise, we're going to pop up and talk to Doug Rowe.
Yeah, one more gallery, and then we'll go to demo. Bob?
Unmuted here. Okay, how about that, guys?
You're up, Bob.
All right, I have a couple of things here. I got a little pecan bowl I turned.
I like the detailing. I do.
Yeah, it came out pretty good. I'm not very good with the texturing tool, but I'm learning. Trying different things. I don't know if y'all can see that or not, but the inside nice. Turned out pretty good.
Oh yeah.
And that's Parfex on there, 3408. And then I have one more little piece here. This one, this is a piece of elm, and actually it started out as a wing hole, I guess. You know how you make a flat piece and have a bowl in the middle of it. And I didn't like it. I didn't know what I was going to do with the big wide wings on it. So I ended up making a thin, turn this thing right. A thin platter bowl. I don't know what you want to call it.
I like the feet you got carved in there.
Yeah, I like the feet.
Yeah, but I did put feet on the back of it, stand it up, to make it fancy. But it turned out fine. That was Parfex. That was all done in a couple of hours. So Parfex to me is great, only because it's one and done. You put it on in 30 minutes, whatever, you can buff it off, and you have a finished piece. So I like the Parfex. But anyway, that's it, guys. That's all I got. These two little pieces.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you, Bob.
Thanks, Bob. All right. Well, let's go to Doug Rowe. Doug, you still got hail going on up there?
So yeah, I do have a pretty good hailstorm going on right now. So hopefully I don't lose you guys, and it doesn't start banging against the garage door loud enough where I can't hear you or you can't hear me. All right, so we're going to talk turning bowling balls into yarn bowls. So, I'm going to do a completed one in case things go wrong tonight. You can see what it's supposed to come out like.
Doug, can I interject on you, please?
Yes.
All right. Members, this is a demonstration. These are the basic rules on demonstration. Doug is doing the demonstration. If you have questions for Doug, they're more than welcome. If you want to change what he does, wait until he gets done and then tell us how you want to change it. And we're going to mute everybody right now, and Doug's going to reactivate his microphone to do it. And that is so we don't pick up any background sounds, and et cetera, et cetera. Be nice, be kind. It's a demonstration, and it's now yours, Doug.
All right. So, at any rate, this was a bowling ball at one time. If I was to put the top back on and kind of see where the finger hole went, right? Cut the top off, throw that aside. Thumb hole is where the yarn comes through. Now, last night, and I made this thing for my wife a few months ago, but she's never said anything to me. Last night, we were trying to look them up on like Etsy and stuff to see if anybody else is making them out of bowling balls, and I kept seeing all the wood ones. And they all have like this curly, cute design, and then it comes out at the top. And I said, I didn't do that on your bowl. I don't even know what that's for. And he said, that's so I don't have to cut the yarn. If I want to change out yarn, you can just slip it out. Oh, do you want me to put one of those things on your bowl? And she said, it'd be cool if you could. So apparently that's what I had to do. I got to put the little notch thing on there. But at any rate, the only thing I added to this bowl was to give her a flat bottom. I did pour some resin in there, just so it would be a perfectly flat bottom for her ball of yarn to sit on. Okay. So now let's talk about the one that I said I was going to practice on during the week. I did, and I'll show you where I failed miserably. Once I got on the inside of this one, it had the closest thing I can compare it to is cork, but I don't know if petrified cork is a thing, but it was rock hard cork, and it just took forever to cut through. And then in the very center was just regular soft styrofoam, so that came out easy. I could not get the cork to separate. Well, that didn't help. To separate from the sides of the bowl. And I was trying every tool I had, and finally the most successful thing I was having was a wire wheel on my drill. The problem was something started catching on me, and I looked, what is going on here? And let's see if I can catch it in the light. Right there's a hole where I'd actually melted through the plastic. So I'd never had that issue before. There's the hail hitting my door. Eddie, can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
Hear you real good.
Yeah, we
can hear you.
We got you well. Yeah, perfect.
All right. I can try and run to the other side of the shop and see if it makes any difference. It's probably going to be loud down there.
We can hear you just fine.
No problem.
You don't need to move. You're great.
You guys can hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
I just can't hear you. Okay.
We can barely hear the hail.
So at any rate, petrified cork, for lack of the correct term, made me fail this bowl because I melted it just from getting it too hot, trying to get it off. This is the top of the bowl, and But I took it to the bandsaw to cut it so I could kind of give you guys a better idea of what I was dealing with. Whatever this substance is, super rock hard.
Yeah, and Doug, that will dull a bandsaw blade in a heartbeat.
Okay, so today I went online and I Googled the name of the bowling ball, Galaxy 300, to learn something about it. Found out this bowl was made in the 70s. Actually found them on eBay for around $30, and I paid $2 for it, so I guess I ruined a $30 bowling ball. With that, as I was playing around online trying to learn some things about bowling balls, what I learned was from the 30s through the 60s, they were pretty much made out of rubber. The 60s through the majority of the 70s, they were made out of a polyester plastic, which is what I suspect this is then. Then late 70s, early 80s, they went into something called a urethane. Then in 92, they started making the bowls out of reactive resin. So what does that all mean? What that means is if you're at the thrift store trying to find your $2 bowling ball like I did, take a minute to Google the bowling ball and see if you can learn something about it and what the substance is that it's made out of. It's only going to tell you the outside. It's not going to tell you about the material on the inside. Now, on a more current YouTube video, I found the cores of the bowling balls are primarily made out of, if I'm saying this right, barite, silica powder, and limestone. Those are just current bowling balls. I could not find anything to tell me about older bowling balls. Kate had mentioned in the chat about asbestos, and I have to agree with him. Asbestos was used in everything up until the point where they determined it was illegal because they realized it was a cancer-causing agent. So just use extreme caution if you're going to try this out. You're going to see me wear a ventilator tonight. Might be an overkill, but I'd rather have the overkill and not get cancer than just wear a dust mask and get cancer. All right, so with that said, we're going to talk about probably the second hardest part. The hardest part, of course, is going to be hogging out the core. The second hardest part, in my opinion, is getting this ball centered. So let me... Are you guys still there? Somebody was trying to call me. I'm going to try and get this set up to where you all can see me. Try and get this ball centered.
Looks good.
Okay, so what we got to keep in mind, of course, is we want to keep the thumb hole. We want to get rid of the 2 finger holes. So if you just start with the thumb hole up, then you're going to be okay in that aspect. And then I'm just putting it between centers, so I got just a standard spur drive and then a standard live center. Nothing special. And I'm just going to eyeball it as best I can to start, and then we'll make our little adjustments as needed. That's way off. So let's go to the high point, which looks like it's probably right about there. Let's try and drop it down just a little. A little closer right, but we'll try to get it a little bit better. That probably just made that worse. Oh, now I'm way off. Yeah, I'm way off. Okay, hold on. We're gonna call that close enough. It's obviously not perfect, but we're gonna scrape it to true it up. And we're also gonna put a tendon on it. So with this bowling ball, it's kind of rough because where I want to put that tendon, the finger holes are a little close. So the only way to adjust that, I'm going to have to drop it on the other side instead of just. Give me just a minute. Like I said, this is the tedious part. It's kind of a little annoying, I guess, if you will. Now, of course, I'm going to be way off again. Okay, trying. That's cool. Okay. So we'll do a quick truing. We're not going to focus a whole lot on this side, just a little, just to balance things, because this is all going to get cut off anyway. So with this one, what's the material on the outside? Again, I don't know for sure. I'm not a bowling ball expert. This one is called a, what was this one? Cold blood hammer. So if
Reactive resin.
Say again?
It's a reactive resin ball.
It should be. So when I was looking at these ones online, it looked like they came out around 2013. So hopefully it is a reactive resin. But again, I don't know. Probably. So we'll try a couple of different things. We're going to throw a bowl gouge against it first, see how that does, and then we'll go to the carbide cutter. On the what I suspect is a polyester bowl, I put a very sharp bowl gouge against this, and this thing just chipped out like crazy. I felt like shards of glass were hitting me. And then I went to the carbide cutter, and it worked just fine. So my voice is going to get muffled because I'm going to throw this on.
Go away, Shadow.
And then along with my respirator, and put the shield on my face.
Can you zoom in any closer?
Say that again?
Can you zoom in any closer?
I think I can. And let's see, if I put you guys on the other side of the lathe, you'll be able to see the tool touching. That for you. Is that any better?
Works
good.
for me, Chief.
Okay.
Looks good.
And then just for the record, there are no holes in my garage door right now, so if it comes flying off, it's the cause of it.
I probably should have got that more balanced than I did, but. We're at 504 if anybody cares about that. Okay, so we're going to take a look. So, pop you off the tripod and bring you in closer. You all see how bad that fitted? Lots of tear out as we'd call it if it was wood, but basically, plastic's just breaking instead of slicing up. That's okay. We're going to keep going out the way. This is just a standard carbide cutter. Still getting pretty bad tear out on that. I'm going to put that one away. This one is a negative rate carbide cutter. Starting to look like what we like to see, right? So, I can't tell you why the negative rate works better, but it does. Okay, now here's a significant issue that I did not run into before. I just had a big crack show up right there. So, this thing may fall apart faster than we want it to. However, this is the part of the bowl that we're going to cut off anyway. So, let me go ahead and get a tenon form. If I was smart and put the bowl on the other way, I could have made my tenon easier. I can get over here. Just I could be able to see it because of the camera angle.
Would maybe a little thin CA in that crack help it from spreading?
It may. But we're going to cut that off anyway, so not too worried about it. I just get me a tenon made over here, so I'm going to try and screw this up first. Okay, so you can see how bad I'm off right where I'm cutting. and then not cutting is just turning air. I'm gonna take a minute to just try and balance it a little bit better because here's what we don't know. We don't know really how thick the reactive resin is before we get into the stuff that we want to get rid of. And since I'm turning it off balance, I'm obviously going to get rid of it faster on this side than I will that side. And it'll screw me up later if I don't have enough material there. Well, this should be the high side, right? Not a physics major or anything, but that's what I'm touching. Under the cover. Okay, that is the high side. And of course, it's only harder because I'm doing a demo, right? Oh.
Without fail.
Okay, if this is a problem for me and I gotta fix things anyway, let's turn it because it's gonna be easier with the pivot on that side. I just get pretty lucky. That's still pretty far off. Well, at this point, let's just go with it. It's a $2 bowl, right? Well, we're gonna lose the $2 if something goes wrong. Maybe a garage door if it flies off. This is just a standard square carbide cutter, not a negative rate. I'm not worried about taking a pretty line at this point, just cutting some material away. Ooh, that was pretty good, yeah. Okay. Okay, so now we're spinning 808. And this way we don't care too much about it. It's going to go away. But and then a little trick with the carbide cutters, I think I've heard Eddie talk about it a little bit. Instead of just putting it flat against the material, you just pop it just ever so slightly, kind of cut a little closer to a gouge. It's still not a gouge, but it's still just a little closer. Looking pretty good. Maybe they're not. Looking at the ghost line up there, it looks alright. Oh, you know, I tried hitting a couple of it. Yeah, that's what I did. I set my tool on my hole. That's why I was bouncing. Okay, so now I want to bring you around just to show you, see that. So I'm held on with a tenon, right? Nothing that we don't already understand concerning wood bolts. What I'm going to do on the bottom here is just give it a little bit of shape so that I can kind of create more of a one that I completed. So what I did, I just kind of messed around with the shape a little bit so it's not just a boring sphere. As you're getting into your own opinions of what it is that you want to do. Are you guys still there? I just got one of those emergency storm alerts on the phone.
We're here.
Okay, cool. Sorry about that. All right.
No, that's all right.
We need the rain up here. I'm happy to get the rain, but it wasn't supposed to happen during the demo. I'll call the weather guy and complain.
Okay. Where are you at, Doug? Doug, are you in Phoenix?
No, I'm in Prescott Valley.
Ah.
I'm almost 2 hours north of Phoenix, hour and a half north of Phoenix. Okay, so like I said, I'm just going to play around with changing the shape a little bit here. Something like that. And now we have grass for our Easter basket. Alright, and then let's figure out about where we're going to cut this off now. I'm thinking since that crack is right there, and it ends right there, that's probably a pretty good spot.
That plug is probably going to come out when you cut it there.
Right there, yeah.
Yeah, and you got to be careful. There might be a leaded weight under that.
Does somebody want to jump over here and hold the phone for me real quick while we do this? Alright, let's start with a parting tool. And I should have sharpened one before we got started, but hopefully this one is sharp enough to rest it. Way too high for that. Somewhere about in there. Alright, you guys can see that alright? Yeah?
Looks good, Doug.
Okay, we're over 1,000 now. 1,024. Okay, let's stop just to see what we're dealing with. Okay, it looks like it's in there pretty good. The crack did stop right there. You can see where we're off balance. Well, you can't see, but I can see it on the inside. I'm hitting the white material and then back to blue. So that's just where I'm off center, but I'm really close to being through the plastic. So the good news is it's feeling really soft. So hopefully when we go to hug this up, we're not going to have the issues I had before. Okay, I'm going to cut like a little relief cut where you just make this a little wider just so it doesn't grab the tool from me. Or I'll flip off like that. Won't be able to tell when I'm done with the plastic because the streamers will go away.
Now you have a new rig.
How do I look? Okay. Oh. Okay, so that snapped. But I'm good.
Your pants all right?
Oh, yeah. I planned all that. That was worked into the show.
All right.
So, basically, that's going to help us hog things out. But what are we learning? That never happened to me on any of the other bowls that I did this on. But I suspect all of the ones that I have done before
have been the polyester. So I don't know if it's the reactive resin that's just more brittle, but we did see that crack in there, and I suspect that's probably Varictus throat. So I don't want to totally say it's the reactive resin and that's why it happened. It was probably more so when I hit it with the bowl gouge, shook things up and caused the crack. Or again, I bought this at a thrift store. Who knows how many times the ball's been dropped on the ground, and it could have had a hairline crack so that we just opened up. So, but of course, be safe, and then when things go wrong, you'll be okay. I got a shield on, I got a respirator on, I was out of line of fire, and I'll go find that other piece later. And I bent a parting tool. With that said, let me get the saw, and we'll just cut that the rest of the way up.
Members, if you're just joining us, we're watching Doug Rowe in Prescott, Arizona. He's turning a bowling ball into a yarn bowl for us. He has started out with some good, bad, the ugly about what he has done on his practice pieces. We've had quite a conversation regarding what type of ball to turn and what the contents may be. Or you can pick them out when you when you see a ball at the thrift store. You can Google the name of the ball and see what kind of material it's made out of. And then you can decide on that if you want to turn it. Remember, some of the older balls do contain contaminants, and you never know what's in them for balancing. So be careful. We'll continue now with Doug Rowe. If you have any questions or comments about the demonstration, hold on to them. Let's get it all the way to the end. My only comment is, Dave Rhodes, you better have that blow up on tape, bud, because we want to see that on a website.
Absolutely.
This is live action wood turning.
And again, if nothing else, if nobody learned anything else, safety gear, right? Because you just
safety gear.
You don't know when
first
things
time.
are going to go wrong, so you just always got to be prepared, and then when they do, you'll be all right, or you'll be almost all right. Happy live, you want me to mute myself? Yeah, I'll mute myself while I got this.
Somebody rushed over to Bernda's house. She's all conventilated because she thought Doug may have got hurt. We're taking care of each other. And Bob Grinstead says he's on his way to help Doug out, but the rain may hold him up. He's only about 1,000 miles away. Matt, when you can, unmute yourself because we can.
There we go. Okay, you got me?
We got you.
Okay. I'm gonna unlock the spindle. I'm just gonna lightly go over it one more time, chew it up as best I can, and then we'll get the hogging that out. I just wanted to try and balance a little bit better for me.
behind your headstock, Doug.
Say again?
Stay behind your headstock.
Oh, yeah. How are we doing on time, Dave? How are we doing on time?
Oh, we're doing great, man. We got a clock and everything.
Okay. I don't want to take up the whole night, but
You're not taking up anything, sir. We're sharing information about turning. Before we end this evening, you see that the stuff that's bonding to your shield. Here's a tip for you: if you clean that shield with son of a gun spray, made by STP, it won't attract it and hold it as much. It kills the static. Oh man, I lost it. It reduces the static electricity around it.
okay, good to know. All right, let's bring it back in a little bit. How's that?
Put that in chat, Eddie.
I'm working on it right now.
That sounded pretty good to me at 992, so. Everybody's got their own preference on where they like to turn. So, I usually kind of go off the sound of the lathe and the feel of everything. Let's see what that is. Might just be stumble. Yeah, there's a little lip right here that I'm catching. Looks like maybe a fiberglass sleeve that's in there. Yeah, that's what that is. There's a little bit cleaner cuts. I'm going to try and clean up my cuts on the bottom. You won't be able to see that right, but it'll just take me a second. But essentially, I'm just kind of using it like a scraper, which it is, a negative rake scraper. But being real gentle and trying to watch my lines disappear. Something like that. Okay, I'm going to look to this side just to see how down to the white, and looks like I got plenty of room to play with still. And here's what we got. I still got one high spot. It's right where the word hammer was. Here, I wrote demo on this, so I remembered which bowl I was using. I'm going to turn that just a little bit more to get rid of that. That's right where the thumb hole is, so it's always in the way. Well, I think at this point I'm just going to leave the word hammer in text because it's all readable and it might come up when I sand it though. So we're close enough. All right. I'm going to back the tripod up just for a minute so I can move around here. Go around and get some air on my face for a minute. Set this up and start talking. Take the elbow buster out. Take some room for my teeth.
You need to talk to Dane Chanley about getting one of those head rags that he wears.
Yeah.
I'll show you how to tie one.
My son gave me one for welding. I worked for well, it's just hot.
Yeah, son of a gun doesn't work on the dome. I was wearing a do-rag because I got tired of screwing up perfectly good ball caps.
Yep, I know the feeling. I thought I found the perfect turning cap, one of those things you wear when you use a airless sprayer. That's good for 1 day.
Yeah, that's 1 use.
Yeah, because
okay, so if I measure with my Forstner bit, I can go all the way in with this one, and I'm not going to be anywhere close to making a funnel. So we'll go ahead and we'll max this out. But before I do that, I'm going to pull you off the tripod again to show you the inside of this ball. Okay, you can see the two different colors, correct? Gray and white?
Yes.
So those are different materials. This white, if it works out like some of the ones I've done in the past, this is just going to turn to like a talcum powder, or depending on your lifestyle, a few decades ago, maybe you'll start singing in your head, "Riding that train." Hi, Uncle Jack. Anyways, that's what this white was going to be like. This gray is almost like the closest thing I can relate it to is almost like a liquid nail. It's a really weird material. But anyway, that's what we're going to get into next.
That's good.
Tear it up, Doug. Tear it up.
Here goes $2. $2.
$2.
I turn my speed down. Just out of curiosity, what do some of you turn at when you're hollowing out or starting off with your Forstner bit? Just putting the Forstner bit in there.
3 to 500.
I never run Forstner bits. I never run Forstner bits above 450 RPMs. If I have burned Forstner bits out by running them too fast when I first started. So the slower the better.
350, Doug.
350.
300. Also depends on your feed rate. If your feed rate's very slow, you need a slower speed. If you have a feed rate quicker with a faster speed, you can go in quicker and come out without your Forstner bit heating up too much. So it's a fine balance between the two. So I do it in between 3 and 500 depending on the material and the feed rate I feel like that day.
Okay. So, since this isn't wood and we're all kind of learning and playing together, we'll start at, you guys want to start about 300 and then go up from there if we need to?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyone listening, hearing all those numbers, the key thing on Forstner bits and drilling anything like this is heat. The faster you go, the more friction. The harder you push, the more friction. So as Kate said a minute ago, there's a fine line between them. So don't get stuck with the numbers. Think about the heat being generated on that bit. If that bit's too hot to even put your finger on it, it's too hot.
Well, there's 303 right there. Pretty close to 300. How's that angle for you guys? Can you see that all right?
Yep. Yeah, it looks like a good rate there.
That's what it's supposed to look like. It is slicing.
Good shavings. Good pencil sharpener shavings coming off. It's not melting and clinging to itself. So the friction is okay.
No signs of a terrific heat buildup around the material.
Every now and then you want to back up and clear the cutter from the workpiece. So.
Yeah, I gotta jump back to the other side to get to my hair.
Yeah, one of the other games I've played is I have a stick of beeswax I keep on the top of the lathe, and I kind of when the Forstner bit starts heating up, I just rub it on there, and it eliminates the squeaking, and it helps keeps things cool and moving smoother.
I keep air blowing on the bit as I'm cutting, so it helps clear the shavings, keep and it up.
Hey, that's a good idea, Trey. We're going to try that technique right now. So I don't have to keep walking back and forth.
As Trey said, blowing shavings on that's an old pen drilling kit. When you were drilling pens in your drill press, you cannot imagine the amount of force that quill gives you pulling down. And if you could inject a nice cool spray with a nozzle like that, even in a pen, you'll save from burning material up and tearing it up. And removal, and just what Trey was saying, it helps for an overall effect.
It's not your friend.
Well, we've all lost our friends this week then, because it's hot out there. Members, we're coming up on the top of the hour in just a few moments. That does no way at all impact this demonstration. We don't own a clock on demonstrations. We want the most we can get when we can get it. We share the information. We welcome your participation. There's not a way in the world I'm going to tell him, a member turning a piece, put the brakes on because the clock says so. Ain't going to happen here, folks.
Demonstrators are not going to be hurried on their project.
Nope.
If a person is bored of watching the demonstration, you can always log off and check back in later.
You can watch it on a repeat. Dave Rhodes will put it on our website.
Right.
Takes him about 4 or 5 days. Dave's kind of lazy. He does the world's greatest website for us, but and it's free, and well, it'll take about 4 or 5 days to be there.
Well, he'd probably be able to get them loaded quicker if I was not sending him questions and asking for additions to the site.
Stop doing that, Dane.
Well, I know he's just sitting there waiting for my email, so.
Absolutely.
Right, Dave?
Absolutely.
At least you know at least one person's looking at it, right?
That's right, and I appreciate it.
Things pop up on your calendar, just not pop on my calendar. It said 53 years ago today, we took one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. 53 years ago today. That'll date you. I mentioned dates and calendars while Doug is doing this piece. If you have an event you'd like to add to our events calendar on our website that Dave Rhodes also manages, all you have to do is put it in our chat. You have an event coming up. I see Scott's put a couple of things in tonight. Cade's added a couple items. It is a free, open event list. You do not have to. There's no allegiance. There's no alliance. There's no clubs. There's no groups, no gangs, nothing. It is open to wood turners. You have something to share about an event with wood turning, share it.
Okay, I'm going to shift you guys back to the other side. That's pretty cool. I got to check. Oh, there we go. Quick. Oh, there's my page. Yep. I need to plug you guys in. I'll get the fluorescent all set up and then I'll reposition the camera.
Hurry up, Doug. Eddie just said you only have 20 seconds left.
Wait. That wasn't me. Nothing is sacred here.
How's that looking for you guys?
Yeah, it looks good. Looks
Perfect.
Alright, so with this material, we'll start with the bowl gouge again, just see how we do. If we have to go to carbide, we'll go to carbide. I hope we click on this one. Start with 0.
Shadow, you need to go away. I'll see you.
Mics, folks, mics.
That's 9:51. I'm gonna double check my timing here just to make sure everything is right. That feels like we are. Ready to rip it off. The other side. You gotta get rid of this little ridge right there. So you know what? Before that thing catches my hand, I'm gonna hit that with the negative rake scraper because we know that cuts the plastic better, or the resin better. Because that's got a broken pinky written all over it. There's that other plug, and it is really starting to break out. I'm wondering if I can just pop that up.
Or try putting it with super glue, Doug.
Yeah, or just turn it out, make it a little shallower bowl so you don't risk having the crack in it.
If he's going to put a curlicue in it, he could start the curlicue there.
Yeah. You could also wrap it in saran wrap or duct tape to make sure that the centrifugal force does not pull a crack apart.
I've done that before, Kade, with, I used the clear packing tape, but I had a bowl that was just full of cracks. I was like, I don't know, let's see.
Yeah, better safe than sorry, I always say. It'd be like a mortar coming at you.
Yeah. It looks like it just wants to come out. Just a little bit.
I think they epoxy those plugs in.
There it is.
You're going to poke yourself with that tool.
Bring me a Band-Aid if I do.
Randy, get out another box.
Really, they don't use their type of epoxy.
I actually did that on that thumb the other day, and I thought it'd be better.
It becomes a design element. It's a feature. We can carve it and embellish it to make it the artistic focal point of the bowl.
So maybe I could use this part, right, to cut down to do that curlicue thing. Will the come out since it's open now? Yeah, that was the plan all along.
Yeah, Galaxy did that for you. How about that?
Sure it was.
Yeah, Doug, you might be doing good, but Bob Moffat's going to do this with a coring kit in the future for us.
And make a birdhouse out of it?
Use that coring. Yeah,
that'd be cool.
That'd make a good bird bath.
You'd use the holy side for a birdhouse and the solid side for a bird bath. There you go. You'd be the Rit of birdhouses.
Clever idea.
Or you can cut them in half, up on in, and reassemble them like Jim showed us earlier.
Yeah.
You guys just think of everything, don't you?
That'd be cool. Little bowling ball box.
Try to cover the primary topics.
Yeah, I have no idea how this is going to cut, so maybe it's going to fly off the lathe, or maybe it's going to cut. As you can see, this white stuff's really soft. No problem at all, but I get into this gray liquid nail stuff. It's super hard. So let me get the carbide cutter again. For the company I was getting these from, they just, I decided to start shutting things down. Says he's gonna enjoy retirement more and just do wood turning and not run a carbide cutting business anymore. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It was like Big Guy Productions or something like that.
He's an outlaw. Avoid him. He hangs out with people like Doug and Dane and Matt and Brenda.
Besides, I heard he was out of business.
Oh, he's trying. He's trying big time, boys. He's trying big time. We just had a schedule adjustment in our demonstration schedules. Dane lines up our demonstrators, and just now he had somebody volunteer to do a demonstration on August the 10th. The entire evening will be one live long demonstration called Tips and Tricks, and it will feature every single member in the crew. And the deal is this: if you want to be part of that evening, you must come with a tip or a trick. Share what you have with turners who have not seen them or think they can better it. We'll be sitting on the tailgate talking about that. August 10th, tips and tricks.
Good.
And I just saw where Shell Oil says if you buy 100 gallons of gas, they'll give you the car to put it in.
Hey, how about that?
Hey, Dave, for that tips and tricks, if you want to make a note, I'll show how I run up a plug for my dust collector to make my dump rack fit it. And of course, everybody and their brother's got a way to fill tracks. I'll show you my way that I do track if you want.
I'd rather know how to go safe than go fast any day at all.
It's a fine talcum powder coming off the tool, but you can actually save some of that for inlay. So later in cracks or voids or holes, you can inlay with a different color.
And you can dye it. Dye it, dry it, use it for later.
Yeah, the white stuff you can, yeah.
Yep.
Not with even soapstone powder.
We have to get one of the ball end mill users to do a bowling ball.
Yeah, I wonder how that would work out.
You're stealing my thunder there, man. I was just thinking about that. I've been looking around at...
A lot of action in the chat about it.
It would do awesome.
Up for it.
Yeah, I was curious about the same thing. I was like, I wonder if a ball end mill would work.
Y'all find me or send me one of those bowling balls, and I'll be happy to do it.
You're down to Goodwill. $2.
Yeah.
I've been looking for those for like a year. I've been haunting my Salvation Army and similar places, and I haven't seen one yet. So maybe I'll just go to a bowling alley or something and say, "You got any old balls you're selling, getting rid of?"
Yep, they do that. They'll sell them off, or you can find them in the dumpster. If you don't mind dumpster diving. But no, they sell them off.
I get some great things out of dumpsters.
We're wood turners. That doesn't hold us back.
Right? It's good, it's good.
Okay, Bob Hodge wants to jump ahead on this tips and tricks thing. Bob, keep that in your mind, because that night we want to hear that tip and trick. It's a great one.
Tips and tricks.
And if you got Wi-Fi issues, all you gotta do is turn your Wi-Fi off on your phone and use roaming.
So this white stuff's coming out a little bit different than my last one in that it is kind of making a little bit of ribbon. But I'm telling you, I think every bowling ball is made different. I don't know.
Yeah, for the most part. There is a tiny code, very small, written on the bowling ball. And if you research that code, it'll actually tell you where the ball was made, what materials it was made, the year it was made, and the facility it was made in.
I want to know if the throw a good hook. That's the information I need.
It's just to research the materials in it so you can take the proper safety precautions if there's asbestos in it.
How thick is the plastic on one of those bowling balls?
Say again?
How thick is the plastic outside on one of those bowling balls?
So on this one, I mean, it looks like it was maybe a half an inch or so.
Hey, thank you.
There we go. If we look at the top of the one that I cut off before, you can see the transition between the plastic and the... About a quarter inch.
I've seen them as thick as a half inch.
Yeah, I've seen them solid.
The ball.
Actually, if I put the ruler on there correctly, it is a half inch. Somebody needs to go back to Shop Class 101. That's somebody's name. You can't use a ruler. Well, up to you guys, but we got a long way to go.
You're good, Doug. Tear it up.
Just got that fiberglass sleeve to slip out of the pump hole. You like that,
Doug, some of our members have to understand that we're more into technique than finished product. And what you're doing now is going through 3 or 4 different types of materials with different types of tools, holding it different ways, and accomplishing a project. That's what we're here for.
Well, keep on going.
We got plenty of time, Doug. No worries.
Once we get through this liquid nail substance, it'll go faster. That is not the official name, it's just the name I gave it. If anyone's interested, I did find some cool videos on YouTube. Just type in, how is a bowling ball made? You'll see all these different substances get put in there. Hey, Eddie, here's maybe something you want to talk about while I'm cutting this. So when I'm cutting, I can't see my tool in there. What I watch is that line, if you want to kind of explain that.
So you're watching your, what I call the shadow, but it's not really a shadow because you can't see your tool. There's a couple of turners that think turning it in reverse so you can reach across and watch that tool work. Works for some projects. For some projects, I have to explain that. But this gives you some versions of how you can get into a piece, turn it, and turn it safely. If you're using that unfortunately, if you're using a ball end cutter, I don't think you can go in reverse with it. And there's some other tools that won't work. Either please start at a slow speed before you give that a whirl.
With the ball end mill, Eddie, the flutes are the wrong way. You're right.
Yeah, it won't work.
I have done the turning in reverse and cut on this side, and I like it, but I failed to set my set screw once, and my chuck came off. I didn't come all the way
You discussed that. I was getting ready to put that warning out there.
This truck, I don't have a set screw in it, so I can't even show what we're talking about tonight. I picked that trick up from Doug Moore on Full Barn, and he told me he got it from Zombie Woodturner. So there's definitely videos on YouTube that you can find of somebody turning in reverse and cutting on that side.
Oh yeah, and there's videos of them turning on that side and getting a violent catch and having their chuck and their workpiece spin off. You can drop on the lathe and drop on the floor.
Okay, so I was wondering how I've been using this much air and my air compressor hasn't turned on yet. Pretty certain it's turned off. So I'm going to mark this edge here real quick. And this is just so I know where the white is going to end. Blue is going to begin. And if you remember in the very beginning, I did not have the ball perfectly centered. This is now the downside to that. Take the camera off the tripod so I get it closer and explain that. So what's going to happen is I start to turn away the white substance. I'm going to hit the blue pretty fast right here. As I turn this ball, look at how thick it is right there. So then in order to get all of the white off, I'm going to be turning the plastic a lot thinner on one side than I am the other. The workaround of that, if it's going to be too bad, is I'm just going to have to stick a sander in there to get all the white out. And then, to the naked eye, you probably won't see that it's that up. But the lathe will know for sure as I'm cutting it. Next thing you know, half the ball will go flying away again because I'll turn on the other side of it. Okay, now just for my own safety, I'm gonna grab the negative rate and kind of soften this up because right now it's a spinning razor blade. That plastic really, really sharp right there. That can be true even for a wood bowl. Mark's the way when he's talking about the different cuts on a bowl, he talks about this. I'm not saying it can't still cut me, but the other one was definitely different. Looks like we got about 15 minutes left.
You got plenty of time, Doug. Don't worry.
I'm gonna say if you guys wanna stop, I'll finish this on. I can do it. I can do a live turning in our Facebook page, Worldwide Woodturners, and then that way it'll be there for everybody to see on there.
That'd be cool. I'd like to see that.
Yeah, he posted one the other night when he was doing one. Plastic bowl welded on him.
And if any of you are not friends with me on Facebook, just send me a friend request, and you can see the orange ball fail.
A good place for dust collection, eh?
This would be an advertisement for your good dust collector here.
If anyone's wondering about this tool that I'm using, this is a combination of a Big Guy Productions carbide cutter and a pry-bar from Harbor Freight.
Yeah.
Thank goodness for Harbor Freight.
Letting frugal woodturners spend more on expensive tools.
So that white stuff is kind of difficult to turn out as well, Doug.
Say that one more time.
That white stuff is difficult to turn out, or are you still on the liquid nail?
I'm right on the edge. As I'm getting down in here, I kind of went in like a cone, so I still have a lot of liquid nail down here, but at the top it's all the white stuff now.
Okay.
And where you're seeing the blue show up, it's because of where the
right
plug is right there. Yep.
I gotta say, there was a lot of demand for the bowling ball to be turned the last few weeks, so hope everybody's enjoying it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's educational.
Very
I learn
much.
Stuff. Yep.
I like the fact
Regardless
that Doug
of the medium, pay attention to tool presentation that also correlates to doing a natural wood bowl with a carbide cutter.
Oh, I just heard something. Sound good. I don't know what I heard, but I heard something.
You might need to put it back in your chuck again.
Yeah.
Because it seemed like it wobbled.
Yep, it's like get around.
I see a lot of comments in the chat tonight. Folks, if you joined us a little bit late, you missed some of the details and the changes that we've went through tonight. You can always watch this on a repeat on our website, worldwidewoodturners.org, where we post full demonstrations and full meetings and clips of demonstrations.
I'm wondering if it cracked somewhere again if I'm not seeing it. We're going to go again. You guys watch. Tell me if you see any crazy wobbles. And I'm going to be focusing more on the sound. It's definitely way out of true now. No, I think it might have been. I might have got a tap on when that plug is coming through. Where we're seeing the blue come back out again. Yeah, it's not happy with me turning on the edge at all right now. As I'm getting closer to the edge, I'm really... And there, it's probably right in here. Where it's happening.
You gotta treat it like a regular bowl. You're losing that dexterity to the side there. Being off oblong, whatever you want to call it, being off center there.
Yeah. Doug, do you have a bowl steady?
Well, that's not going to, it's because of the material, it's going to cause it to collapse. Come back out, make it 1 inch thick for your wall there. We've got plenty of the white stuff there still supporting the resin.
Yeah, the white material is super soft though, separating from must have been what we heard then.
Don't y'all wish we had instant replay?
It's a funnel. Although technically not, because I haven't gone all the way through yet.
Right. Slow motion would be cool.
Oh, man.
Well,
Oh God, it's all at work.
Hate it when that happens.
But you know, we wouldn't know what not to do unless we looked at this.
Right. Sounds like it's
around.
kind of hit and miss with those.
Yes.
Turn it around and redo your recess there and rechuck it.
that's what I was thinking, and make a mortise instead of a tenon.
Right. And then don't expand it so tight.
Yeah, because I
You
mean,
can do
you
that.
got a half an inch of plastic there.
You got plenty of material there.
Yeah.
Flip that thing against your chuck right there, and bring your live center up, and through up and make a recess for it.
Okay. Well, I've also got, as I'm looking at it, there's a pretty good crack going right here. I think what I'll probably do with this one is put it on the
face. Ugh. Feel like I've been in mop 4 all night.
Yeah, mop 4, here we go.
Anyways, I think if I put it on the drill press with a large enough Forstner bit to come outside that crack, I can make a nice round hole. The only downside is my jaws are going to probably open up further than I would prefer, but it's worth trying, I think. What do you guys think of that idea?
How about a glue block,
Forstner? I think your Forstner bit will jump all over the place because you don't have a center point for that Forstner bit to follow with a solid surface for it to follow and to drill into the solid surface. So your Forstner bit is actually going to jump all over the place and not drill correctly. A better option would be a glue block and then return a tenon.
Okay.
Or Doug, pour some matching resin in there, let it harden, and start over.
Yeah.
Yeah, then you'd have a solid surface to drill.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, at any rate, I think it's time to call it a night.
You can heck of a go there.
Great idea. Well, at least you didn't get any holes in your garage door.
No, it definitely flew off in the right direction. I don't have to go explain anything to the wife.
That's good.
Other than why there's bowling ball resin all over your pillow tonight.
Yeah. I don't know. What do you guys think? You think I should shower before I go to bed tonight, or you think I'm okay for a few more days?
Leave the wig on.
I think you're okay for a few days.
Yeah.
No, let's avoid talking about the wig, please.
Still love it.
One suggestion on centering it in the original thing.
Sure.
If you turn a cone and then use a drive to push against that cone would center the ball automatically.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So that would center it, and then you have more material on the outside because you only have a half inch or less material to start with. So a cone, a round cone, slipping it in that, and then use the drive to drive it from there.
I have a way I can show you that I center bowling balls on the lathe, and they're perfectly centered.
All right, we'll take a look at that. I was thinking the same thing, Trace, because I've got different size cones that fit on my one-way revolving center, and that's exactly what I have done. I've held pool balls, cue balls, spheres, everything else, and the way I line them up is cone to cone.
Can you turn a cue ball?
Yeah.
I've turned a cue ball.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
I think I'm going to rope Doug Miller into doing a cue ball.
I bought a few of them because I saw that on YouTube too.
See here.
I haven't done it yet.
think that'd be a mini demo to follow this demo. You see?
Hey, everybody, let's give a hats off to Doug Rowe here for the demonstration tonight. He did an excellent job. Unfortunately, the ball did not want to cooperate.
Absolutely, Doug. Thank you very much.
That is awesome.
Thanks, Doug.
Great job.
That was a fun demo.
Great demo.
Great job,
I
Doug.
appreciate it, buddy.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, sometimes you're the windshield, sometimes you're the bug, buddy.
Good job, Doug. We appreciate you sharing, man. I went to bowling ball today.
I'll just walk in the house with all that stuff on you.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna definitely blow off with the air compressor before I go in there. Otherwise, wife might get my life insurance after she kills me.
All right,
Hey,
Professor.
thanks, Doug. I appreciate it.
We appreciate your demo tonight, Professor Rowe.
Yeah.
And folks, we welcome this type of demonstration. He showed you the good, the bad, the ugly, what could happen. And just now we heard about 5 or 6 different suggestions on how to fix it. And really, they were good ideas. One where Kate is right. When you try to drill that and you have an irregular surface, it's going to hop around on you. If Doug wanted to drill that, I was going to really be nervous about the holding of the ball, because that's number 2, is how would you hold something like that? But somebody suggested infill it with a resin. You fill it in with Bondo if you want. And that gave you a good flat surface to center the hole up and do the cut. Great idea. We've had a share of some fantastic ideas based upon this. And I like Billy's thing. Sometimes you're the bug, sometimes you're the windshield. That's exactly the way it goes. And we won't learn until we do it. If we don't do it, we won't learn. Bottom line. All right. We're taking some gallery right now. If you'd like to be part of it, put it in there. I've got something to show. And I've seen a whole bunch of items come up on the event list tonight. So save your chat before you go home. That's Donald Masterson's job out of Australia. And when we wrap up tonight, Donald has to remind y'all, save the chat. All right, let's go back to gallery. Dane, who do we have up?
Eddie.
Well, we got.
Oh, yep. I can show the bowling ball quick while we're still on that bowling ball topic.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if you have a cone that fits and treads onto your spindle, you could use that. I'm a little skeptical sometimes about using aluminum cones because with the mass and the weight of this bowling ball, if you were to get a catch and it came off, it's going to make a mess and it's going to bend your aluminum. So I do it right in my spindle of my lathe. And that spindle has a natural cut to it to the curve of the ball So I take this and I put this directly in that cup and I bring up my live point. And there I have a ball.
Here's a what if. What if you pull the pin out of your tails, your revolving center? That's got a cup on it also.
Yeah, you could also use a cup on here as well. This cup. Never really used it. I've always got it balanced this way. But you can also use this cup.
Or turn a wooden one.
But that'll take much more time away from all your fun turning and sanding. So if you have one of these, it's quick and easy and painless, and you're not fussing about making jig. This comes with your revolving center anyways.
Not on my leg.
That is slick. That is really slick.
See? Now
Hey,
watch
Doug.
watch how smooth this spins.
And you can use that to put your tenon on.
See? No play at all.
Where were you 2 hours ago, Kate?
You could turn a wooden cup with threads for your headstock side.
Yeah, that's a good idea too.
Yeah, you can do that too.
Yeah, I use the cups that I turned so I can do spears. So the same sort of idea.
You got a cup on your spindle and your life center.
Yep.
And you can also use these if you have these between centers.
Yep.
You could use those.
I've seen those before. I got to convince the wife to buy me up.
Are those the
More
Carter
tools.
ones?
More tools.
Are those the Carter
No,
ones?
you can turn your own.
Yeah, those are Carter.
Okay. Yep.
That's who I have their hollowing system. I have the Carter hollowing system, so I'm familiar with them.
I got them.
And Don and Rubber Chucky make some spear chuckies also.
You could also use this one for cue balls. You can put that on there like that and use smaller spheres.
Yep.
Right? Or cue balls.
He's got that smaller cone on that one way too. Okay, you got the smaller cone?
Yep. Well, no, I have the smaller pointed cone that Doug had on his life center.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Right here, which is solid at the top. But you could actually make these and thread them with a threading jig and turn a small cup or a hollow on this end too. Because it is aluminum, it's soft metal, it can be turned.
Yeah.
So just buy an extra one, create a threading, and you can turn that into a cup to use either way as well.
You can buy a very similar block of aluminum from most material wholesalers like Ranger, MSC.
Whoever's got a dog, mute yourself.
Some dog said hi.
Yeah. But I've turned my own cups for doing spears, and I made them out of aluminum. I purchased off one of those firms, and they work ideally. I hold one in a stronghold chuck on one side. The other goes onto my tailstock piece with a 3/4 10 tap that I bought at the hardware store in the corner. And it's all possible. We're going to talk about that a little bit more on Wednesday, August 10th. We do a tips and tricks night. So if you've seen this and you came up with some ideas, just like Kay did just now, we want to see it on August 10th. And it's going to be a tips and tricks night. And I'm looking to see what all you old dogs got hidden up your sleeve. That's it.
That was with the smaller 5-pin ball, but you can also do that same technique with the larger balls that Doug turned it as well.
Yeah.
And it'll perfectly center and mount itself on the lathe.
Great idea. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. We've got about 15 minutes left before we pull the plug on a meeting tonight. If we have some gallery items you want to show, I see a couple of them popping up in the chat right now. Dane Chandler is going to introduce you. When he does, talk to us about it, and we'll share that information. And, hey, if you're in here tonight, you belong to a club, invite the members of your club to join us. They can all afford it because it's free. But we want your information if you would, please. So, Dane, do we have a couple of gallery items up?
Yeah, we do. We got, let's go to Jason. Been a while.
There he is.
Hey, Jason. How's it going?
We got you. You got to unmute yourself, Jason.
You're muted, Jason.
Oh, not too bad. I haven't really been out in the shop lately, but had some foot issues and surgery, and yeah, it's been a nightmare. Oh, there we go. So I got one thing. I upgraded lathes.
Look at that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is that a 1221?
Yes, it is.
Nice.
All we see is the
This ugly green thing has been retired.
Yeah, never mind. Go back to that burl.
Yeah.
Okay, see, now that is my question.
It's
So
a
I
burl.
got this from Tennessee. And it was green when I got it. I sealed the ends just with wood glue. probably 3 or 4 coats on the end. My question is, for one, I don't even know what it is. And for 2, how do I go about processing this, or do I just need to let it sit for a couple of years?
Well, 1, it's a burl.
Yeah.
2, it's possibly dangerous, but I'm a certified disposal service.
I don't think you're qualified to have that there, Jason.
Yeah, that's illegal in Colorado.
Hey, Jason.
Well, that's what I'm
Jason,
worried about too, is because we're so dry out.
Well, don't worry about the dryness and the wetness. It's burl, okay?
Okay.
It's, you know, it's not gonna. I mean, it may move, but it's not gonna, you know, crack like normal
solid.
wood. Yeah.
Thanks.
A while back on this club, I did a little video on how to mount pieces that had some sketchy wood on them. Basically, what I did is I Forstner bitted. Yeah, I don't know. It's on our website, on our YouTube channel somewhere. But basically, you Forstner bit a place to put your yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, you don't want that. You need to send that to me.
Yeah, that's just going to give you a lot of trouble. You can send it over here to Texas.
Yeah. Well, it looks like maple. It looks like silver maple.
Yeah,
but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it is either. But you know, I mean, my brother-in-law had picked it out of the woods back behind his house, and when I went out to visit, he's like, "Come on, grab a 4-wheeler, let's go."
Yeah, typically what I would do is figure out what parts of it I'm going to use, and then shape it with a chainsaw, and before putting it on the lathe, and make sure if you're starting between centers, make sure your spur and your live center are on solid wood, not on the outside bark, because the outside bark can break off easily.
Yeah.
So what I showed basically in the little demo I did for this club is I used a Forstner bit to make places to put those things. So, but that's one way to do it.
I remember seeing that.
Yep.
Hey, Jason,
on the full burl, and I would definitely mill it into smaller pieces with the chainsaw, then go to the bandsaw, mill it into smaller pieces, and if you're going to chuck it on your spur drive, drill a hole with a Forstner bit so that spur drive is in some solid wood. You don't want that spur drive to spin on the bark because there's no structure there. If you get a heavy catch, it's going to come off the lathe. But by drilling a hole with that Forstner bit, now you have solid wood that you're in. It's going to drive it safely and efficiently, but you're also within a small hole of a cavity. So by having tail stock support, even if you do get a very violent or heavy catch, it's going to stay on the lathe.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jason, I'm working on a burl right now, which I'm finishing. I'm just doing the finishing right now. But if you look on the website, there on Facebook, search my name, and you'll see the process of going from burl with a slab on one end, just like that, all the way through. Yeah. Of course, I convert in hollow point, and I'll show it later on if we have time.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely want to try and use every piece I can out of it, for sure. So,
I don't blame you.
There's no waste there at all. Use it all.
Yeah. Nothing goes to the trash.
Well, and then the other question, like I said, it is green. So it was cut maybe a month ago, and I sealed the ends. But when I do start slicing that up, do I need to seal that?
I would seal it a little bit, or put it in garbage bags for a little bit until you turn it. But turn it sooner than later and just allow it to warp and move, and that's the artistic character in the piece. Unless you're going to save it for a box, or something that has to have a very refined, nice connection, like a lid and the base of a box, where you can't have movement because your lid will be solidified to the base of the box over time, and it just won't fit right. But if you're going to dry it, then seal it and put it in a dry area where it's sort of climatized, probably in your garage or your house, where it will absorb heat and release heat and dry better than, say, in a shed or outdoors. Don't put it on concrete. Keep it on the wood skid so it gets air all the way around it. The concrete will actually rot the wood from the bottom up if you place it on concrete.
Yeah, it's just sitting on the pallet.
Yeah, that's fine on it. And so burls are not like regular straight, your regular log. The grain is going every which way. So the movement is not going to. There's going to be movement to it as it dries out. So whether you turn it fresh while it's green, or you wait 5-6 years from now.
I don't know if I want to wait that long.
Well, personally, I wouldn't. You would be better off turning it now while it's green, because you're going to get a better cut because of that grain being sideways, going every which direction. You're going to get a better cut while it's still wet, and then the movement on it, it's going to balance itself out because it's not straight grain, one direction, whether it's side grain or end grain. The rules of movement is not going to be the same.
Yeah, because the grain goes every which direction.
Because the grain is everywhere.
But you still need consistent walls to avoid excessive cracking, even though it is.
Yes, you still got the rules of wall thicknesses and base thickness consistency still apply.
And we have
the movement, it'll be concentric as long as you've got consistent wall thickness and bottom thickness.
Yeah, I know here we're pretty dry. Like, this was a little base I did about a week ago, and it's cherry. But the wife called me. I went in the house for half an hour, come back out, and it was already cracked.
Yeah, it happens
That's
quick.
cherry.
So,
and
it's kind of frustrating.
What's the thickness on it?
Less than a quarter.
Oh, that's pretty good. Usually less.
Yeah, it was still on the lathe, and yeah, it just cracked.
It would have been the thickness of the base with the tenon.
Didn't have the base done.
Would not
Right,
be.
didn't have the base done.
Yeah.
But it's one of those deals. Literally, I was away from it for maybe half an hour, 45 minutes.
Yep. Yeah, it happens quickly. I mean, you remove all that surface area, and then it's so much more moist and wet on the inside. It can happen in no time.
And especially out here in the dry climates that we have.
In the heat.
Because we don't have humidity.
Yeah, there's no humidity here.
So you got not only the heat working against you on a wet wood, but you've also got the friction from turning.
And the heat generated. Yep.
And you've got the friction heat from sanding and everything else that's involved with the finishing process. So it's, literally, something small like that, you've got to get it, and if it's wet and it's cherry, you've got to get it to final dimension, less than 5/16 of an inch, all the way consistently, top to the base, which means get rid of that tenon, all at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We can't leave it on the tenon on the lathe to be able to finish and do our finishing, let the finish here and everything like that out here.
Yeah, it's
because the weather just doesn't cooperate for us in the spring or the summertime because it's just too hot out.
Yeah. If you want to walk away
that burl,
from it,
I'd chuck that puppy up and give me a call.
No.
Yeah, I almost want a bigger lathe, so I just turn something and core it out.
Right. That's a good excuse to get one.
Hey, Dave, what I just heard is he wants to do a road trip to Arizona. He's going to stop, turn a little bit on my big lathe here in Prescott, and then he's going to head down to Tucson, finish it up.
There we go.
Hey,
there you go.
Or vice versa,
I couldn't afford the fuel in the truck right now, but I could probably strap it on the motorcycle and head out.
There we go.
But probably it'd still be cheaper for you to get a new lathe. Tell your wife you got 100 members that will vouch for it.
Well, I mean, I had to convince her, but I did get a new lathe just recently, so it's just not. It's a smaller one, but
hey, there's nothing wrong with 1221. It's a great lathe.
Does it have outboard capabilities?
That's a large improvement.
Does it have what?
Outboard capabilities, because you can bolt it to a bench and turn outboard.
Probably not on this one. No.
Does the headstock slide down, Jason? Oh, it is?
No, it's fixed. But it is a huge upgrade from the ugly green one from the
don't sell
the China store.
Because, don't sell short because at a minimum you've got a finishing.
Yeah, you got to finish
it. Now you can set
but
your.
That other one I could set up outside, and that one the headstock turns.
Yeah.
There you go.
So
yeah, don't get rid of it.
Yeah, I got tired of the headstock coming out of alignment with the tailstock all the time.
Oh, I know. That's one of the problems.
Yeah, that's one of the problems.
Hey, congrats on the new lathe. Congrats on the new lathe.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, congrats. That's awesome,
dude. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Everybody,
world
give
of difference for sure.
Good to see you back, Jason. Good to see you back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Trying to get on
don't
there.
Move the burl and move too much after you turn it, mill it into blanks and then keep it in bags for maybe 6 months or 8 months.
Okay.
After that 6
Yeah,
or 8
because I figure a lot of the small stuff I could do some smaller stock, pin blanks, whatever.
Yeah, they do
whatever. I don't.
They'd be
Don't waste
drying
it on
them.
a pin. Fennials.
Accent piece.
No, that too. But I do a lot. I do a bunch of antler on the top and burl on the bottom pins, and they sell really good. So.
Oh, okay. There you go. Yeah.
If you put it in a bag, though, you want to burp the bag. You don't want to trap all that moisture in there. You want to eventually allow it out, so more condense on the walls, let more out, sort of burp it daily. And then after those 6 to 8 months, it'll be nice and dry. Even flip it over time and time again. Otherwise, the bottom is going to be spalted and the top is not.
Right.
So you can.
Yeah, I got to figure out what I'm going to do with it. For sure.
6 ways, and then you'll get even spalting on all 4 or 6 sides.
Should be pretty when I figure out exactly what I want to do and get to it. But.
And again, like Kade was saying there, and then, and like I am a proponent of, start your slacker stack and set it over there. And then once you're to that ability and mindset for it, then you go right to that slacker stack and you pull it out, and you're going to have that wonderful piece.
Yeah, just give her.
You got a good piece of pearl there.
Yeah.
And you'll never know what it is until you get inside of it.
It's maple. It's maple burl.
Maple.
Right, but I
probably
mean,
is. It came from just north of Nashville, so.
But yeah, like Dan saying, like you won't know the figure or the character or the voids that are in it until you get into it.
Oh yeah, that's yeah, it's kind of a curiosity thing. So like,
oh yeah. Yep.
Looking forward
Good to
to
see
it.
you back, Jason.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, it's
next
good to be
week.
back.
All right. All right. With that, let's go to Michigan. Hey, Matt.
Hey, Matt. Well, you
Howdy.
work.
Matt, wake up.
I'm here. I didn't know when you guys were gonna start moving on. Anyway,
well, no, it's all right. It's like no other time. So.
Yep. In the last week or so, I was cleaning up some pieces I had laying around my workshop, and in the course of events, I went through the bottom of a piece of walnut. So I funneled it, and I posted this. So there was a lot of really great suggestions about what to do with it, and I decided to dot paint it.
Oh, wow.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
So I did that. I did this
Very
today.
nice.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Love it.
How long did that take?
Impressive.
No,
It took
put
me
a
about an
picture of
hour.
Something in the middle of that.
Oh, that's pretty quick for the amount of work there.
Yeah,
You
it's
can take that out there and sell to one of those frisbee golf people.
yeah. It's not heavy enough.
Oh, okay.
It's called disc golf. Dang.
Yeah, whatever.
So I'm not sure if I'm going to add a little bit more
Y'all
to this.
know,
but this
y'all
is-
knew what I meant.
Yeah, I'm delighted with how this came out.
Pretty, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, that looks great.
Yeah, I like it. Frankly, there's been a lot of suggestions to put stuff in the middle, and I like it with the hole. So
That is
Yeah, I like it
beautiful.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
whole
something
element
that's
of
not
the
gonna work.
negative space.
Yep.
thank you very much.
Good job. Good job, everybody.
Very nice.
Right. Well, Joyce
Dean had something too.
Joyce. What?
I saw Dean had something too. If he's still around.
Oh yeah, I know. Well, I know. I got him down.
All right, I'll shut up.
Joaquin.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hey, Joaquin.
How y'all doing? Good show tonight. I had this piece of ash, and I decided that I need to catch up and start doing my beads of courage boxes, and put a little bit of design on the lid and some knurling, spiraling beads. But
some nice feathering.
Yeah,
That's some really nice curl.
then I decided to put the surprise in.
Mickey Mouse.
There you go.
That's awesome.
Another Mickey.
Yeah, it's topography and painted the shoes and the pants and the rest of it's all wood burn.
Where do y'all
Is that
get
the
the
same one
beads of
from last
courage?
week or another one?
Sorry?
Is that the same one from last week or is that
Yeah, this is
another
the
one?
lid from last week. I hadn't done the bow yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
That's right. You said you was going to start with the lid last week and then make the box. That's right.
yeah, I was gonna fit the bow to the lid this time. But anyway.
Yeah,
Where do y'all
Kind of mess.
where do y'all get the beads of courage cabochons for the lids?
Yeah,
For the
the
knobs?
galleons.
Yeah.
We send in and you can order like 20 of them, the beads,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, they
and
go
they
in the
send you
lid,
a
yeah.
card to go with them. And
Where do you order them from?
from Beads of Courage.
Oh,
okay.
okay. Cool.
Yeah. If you go on their website, you can order the beads. We get about 20 of them, and then we pass them out to all the members who's going to make a Beads of Courage bow. And we're requesting everybody to make at least 2 this year. They're going to go up to SWAT and be given out there.
Nice.
Yeah.
We'll have to do that for my club. How much are they roughly?
The beads?
Yeah.
Oh man, I think I bought some about 5 years ago. They was about $1 a piece. I don't know what they run right now.
I think it's like $25 and you get 20 of them.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That ain't bad at all. That'd be a good
No,
deal
not at all.
for the club.
And the kids, I always put some kind of choreography on mine of some kind. One year I did the theme of Pooh Bear around it. The year before I did one with Finding Nemo, the shark and Nemo and all of that. I try to put a little something extra. And, you know, there's no telling how many they got at AAW this year. And then at SWAT, they'll pick up a bunch of them.
I love the shine on that thing.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's a 50-50 wipe on lacquer, I call it.
Yeah,
Wipe it on and wipe it off about 4 coats.
see your TV screen in it.
Yeah, I was pretty proud of that shining with a little figure in it.
Yep.
Great, man. Looks awesome.
Beautiful.
Do they have size dimensions or parameters that they recommend, or is it just
Yeah,
whatever
they
to do?
a 5x6 is about the smallest. They want something, you know, that or bigger. I know some guys, they want to go real large.
Yeah.
And with it, because they have, some of them have 1,000 beads or more. But I would rather give them 4 or 5 if they've got smaller ones to put different beads in here, there, and there instead of one big large one.
Plus, it's easier to fill up.
Yeah.
Get a little bit of a.
I mean, guys, we had a guy, he did a rabbit, he did a pig one year where the head come off, and, there's some crazy, great ideas. One year a guy did, the Seven Dwarfs. I mean, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and he had 8 boxes, and they had all the different characters on the boxes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Great program for a great cause. It really is.
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you, all.
Okay, you betcha.
All right, let's go to this wild man. Hey, Dean.
Hey, Dean.
How's everybody doing?
Hi, Dean.
Good.
Good. So, what I've got to share tonight, tonight. My wife's an artist, and she had taken this old bowl here, or this old plate here, that was broken when she started and painted on it. I said, well, if you're going to paint on something, let me make you some decent plates. So this is the 3 I did tonight. They're just turned with basically a sanding sealer on them, so they still have some tooth for her to paint on. And this goes out tonight.
Poplar? What's the wood, Dean?
Well, I believe these are poplar. They don't anybody throw anything at me, but I went to the Flat Woodworking Club, and undoubtedly somebody there has a cabinet shop close to them, and they grabbed a whole truckload of poplar blanks or poplar cutoffs. And so I grabbed up, I don't know, 8 or 10 of them. And when I got home, she says, I want some plates to paint on. I said, I've got just the wood to do it. I had no idea why I was picking those things up, because normally it wouldn't be anything I would really get much use out of. But she's happy with it.
Poplar's a great wood for that.
There you go.
It's soft. It's easy to turn. You can do it quick.
Yeah, that turns great.
And if you're covering it with paint anyway, why not?
Yeah.
You might have to bleach it because it's got my poplar's got some greenish sort of color to it.
These are all pretty light.
Yeah, they look really nice.
So
might be maple.
This one's got a little bit more color in it, but some of them were real green.
That one in the middle has a tooth on it.
Yeah.
What's that, Brenda?
The one in the middle has a tooth on it.
This one?
The toothpick.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
Yeah, you see the tooth?
Yeah, they're great.
There you go, folks. There's Brenda's tooth.
Oh my God. The tooth and the tooth and the tooth.
Hey, good eye, Brenda.
Yeah.
I love it.
Panel 0. Season 1.
A good deal. No, it's been fun getting those done for her.
Awesome.
Thank you, Dane.
Thanks, Dean.
Thanks,
Right.
Dean.
Hey, by the way, one more thing real quick, Dane.
Yeah.
Somebody recommended, and I don't remember who it was, a thing for my respirator. Who was that? Are they still on?
Tom Kenny.
Tom, was that you?
It's Tom Kenny.
Thank you so much, brother. I ordered one of those, got it in, it fits, it works perfect. I was going to put the link on my YouTube to share with other folks. I went back and they went from $49 to $120.
Ooh.
So I got in time. Thank you.
Well, I got a deal off of eBay and bought a 5-pack for about $50.
Yeah, so you
Somebody
folks that have seen the big black cloth coming down, I don't have that anymore.
No
Thank you.
apron. No Batman cape.
No Batman cape.
That's great. Thanks, Tom, for pointing that out.
Yeah, I really appreciate it.
Was able to take advantage of. That's great. See, folks, that's what we do here.
You're welcome.
All right. Let's go to Kade. he's got something.
Oh yeah, I got a few things, or a couple of things here. I've just been practicing away for my demo this weekend. So I've turned a couple of things. I'll just do a pan shot here, and my phone's at 5%, so I hope it doesn't die on you. But we'll be a little quick. So here's a couple eggs with pedestal.
We can't see anything, Kate.
Oh, you can't see anything.
We can see it.
I can see.
I see eggs on the lathe.
Oh, now I do.
On pedestals.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
So here we have some eggs on the lathe with pedestals. I will go through the woods and the specific eggs. So this is spalted tulip poplar with red oak. This one is roasted ash with white ash for the color contrast. This one is spalted tulip poplar with red oak. This one is roasted ash with white ash base, but I did a double dye technique to get the fire. This one is tulip poplar with red oak. This one is poplar undyed with a red oak egg with a double dye technique. Now this one here I made in memory of Ukraine with a yellow ash egg with a blue dyed base. And this one here is a Canadian goose egg, which is made out of poplar that I bleached white, and the base is roasted ash. So all three of these, all 2, 4, 6, 7 of these smaller ones are large hen eggs, and the larger one here is a Canadian goose egg. We also call them cobra chickens because they'll attack you and chase you down on the beach if you get too close to them. So cobra chicken egg, and here's the top bases. They'll hiss and spit at you, chase you and peck you, flap their wings and swat at you until you get away from their nest or where they're chilling.
Those eggs are good eating, though.
Yeah, sure. They're very fun to do. Great skill builders. Although it is a fairly simple project, it's not so easy to get the proportions correct. And the base is fun. I mean, they make great gifts. They're great for festivals. Fairly inexpensive item that are almost gifts or impulse buys for people. And yeah, they're fun to do. So that's all I have for today. Other than that, I've been busy doing other projects or taking care of Cash. He's been doing great. He had the doctor's appointment yesterday, his 1-year checkup, so he's all good to go, A1 check over, so that's good to hear, and doing great. He's walking now, so I gotta start running to keep up with this little guy. He's walking around like a little drunken sailor, so it's hilarious to watch.
Yeah.
I love seeing the pictures of him. He's a cutie.
Yeah, we did have our friend who's a photographer do our 1-year photos, and we just posted those on Facebook the other day. So she got some really good photos, really captured his personality. And rather than a cake smash, we did a donut smash because, I mean, I love donuts, and a donut a day keeps the doctor away. So I used one of my cake stands I made, and the base is walnut and beech, and then the top is live edge walnut, so you'll see it in the photos. But that's it for me, so thanks everyone. Great meeting.
Great meeting, folks. It's about that time. We're running a little tardy, but what the heck, we've had fun. We've learned a lot of things. We shared a lot of information, and we're back here again next Wednesday evening with you. We start, what the heck? We're here about 5:30 p.m. Central. And when I push the button, there's a pile of y'all there already. So we're going to be there next week. Hope you're with us. Bring a friend. Bring a friend, please. And until next week, please be safe. Good night,
everyone.
Night, everyone.
Night, everyone.
Save the chat.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tom.
Thanks,
All
Tom.
right, y'all.
Take care, everyone.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Happy turning.